are off.
Lights are off. Transition is engaged. And I'll form the head. And if you get that reference, thank you.
I'm not forming the ass.
I'm forming the... Well...
I'll form the clavicle.
Quite right.
Yes.
Yes, quite right.
I formed the left arm. That'll be me.
From the left arm.
Just random left arm. It'll just me fall off, and it's just me wander
I'll
off.
form the right metatarsal.
You.
Just one of them.
Just one of them.
Just
I'm
the
not
one.
telling you which. Just one of them.
Gotta give my anime character a booty.
Yeah.
Oh, why the fuck? You can't have an anime waifu without a booty.
Oh, it's a husbando.
Oh, it's a husbando?
Gross.
I mean, still gotta have a booty. Come on.
No.
Your anime character has gotta have a booty.
Here's the question, though. Does the game have a bulge slider?
I was going to say, you have to have an obscene bulge.
I don't think it does.
Worst game. Now, you should stop playing
Worst
it right
game
now.
ever.
Worst
Why
game
the fuck
ever.
would I ever play this game?
Why?
Why can't I have a dude with a huge penis and let everybody know? If I'm going to have an anime character with a huge dick, everybody needs to know.
And of course, he has to be wielding the biggest sword ever. Like,
Oh, yes.
just like 10 feet tall.
People will think he's compensating, but he's not.
It's just a
He
measuring
actually
post.
is just really sad
his-
because he has to wield a proportional sword.
Yeah, no. It's just his measuring stick to his penis.
He's really upset about it.
He
He doesn't want to carry it around, but he has to.
Dude, like, no, really, it's this big. Why can't you show me? Dude, it's a game.
Dude, do you see
This
how big this is?
It's like, if I show you, then the game screen will be taken up by this, and then we'll be banned by Twitch. Because I can't show you.
Oh shit! He got 6 wings.
What?
But.
Yeah, I have wings. That's a thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want the
bulge
mecha wings or
slider.
if I want 6 wings.
Black
Is that
Desert
for-
It's the
Online
equivalent.
may have been a crappy MMO, but boy, did they have character customization down pat.
Which
They
game?
did. It's a shame the game was boring as sin.
Yeah, I think the most
Which
interesting
one?
thing is they released the character generator before the game, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
more people just had more fun with that. It was like
Probably.
Hero Maker Anime Edition.
Which game was it? Black Desert?
Black Desert
Yeah.
Online.
I can't wait for Bless because the face animations in their in-game, like all of the animations for their in-game is amazing.
Right, what I will do
Just
before
like
we officially start is I shall post the podcast flow in the chat so you guys can have a look at it, because all the games from E3 are on there that were part of the press conference.
Yeah, Will took extensive notes, and by he watched all the pressers and took notes on them. Where I watched 2 of the pressers and was just mildly entertained.
I watched everything except for the PC Game Show because I was at work at the time.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it's like I wasn't surprised by EA being absolute garbage.
We knew that.
I was
It's
surprised.
EA.
I was a little surprised. There was like one thing EA showed. It was one of their indie games. I was like, oh, that looks neat. I can't remember what it is. Oh, it was The Last Night. That's what it was. That one looked interesting. Ubisoft surprised me because I had already seen the Mario and Rabbids thing and went, oh no. And
We
then I
shall
watched.
get into that very soon. we shall talk all about that, because first of all, I haven't actually introduced ourselves and said,
Fuck! I am too eager and busy playing Gungeon.
welcome everyone to episode 49 of the Game Won't Play Itself podcast. I am Lord Teammaker, aka Will McKellar. Joining me, as always, up there is James Atkinson.
Hi, everybody. I'm in
Joining
this
me-
corner as always, and there is little editing to do this time. Thank God.
In the corner, right at the top there, is our old mate, team, Kurgelman.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I better get
This
to-
game is really loud.
And
I
sort of like
think it's a
sound-
Korean RPG MMO.
Is he in the meat between the Hergelman and Lard Sandwich? It's Regis.
Hi, I'm a person, and I am playing a bullet hell game. I was surprised invited today, but I'm glad to be back. It's really fun.
We'll spam that right there. There you go. In chat.
Just if you suddenly hear a ah! Then you understand.
Because you are getting chased by something in a game while you're on.
I started up the game and my stream, then Herd's like, "You're coming in here," and I'm like, "What?" And then all of a sudden I'm here.
Well, that's because the original plan for a guest just didn't. It was like didn't get back to us, so it's like, okay, that's fine. Then I realised they're probably busy.
I'm okay with it. It's no worries on my part.
It's like how NBC, whenever they had a guest fall out, they'd always have like Brian Williams or somebody on the Late Show with Conan or something, because it was just they were in the office anyways, and they're like, "Hey, we had a guest bail. Could you just show up and talk bullshit for 15 minutes?" It's pretty much what we have. We're lucky enough to have to build and hang out with some awesome streamers, and being able to like at least have one of them around at any point in time. We can be like, "Hey, you, get on the show."
Yeah, generally I don't do anything Saturdays except for streams because I thankfully don't have work on Saturdays. But yeah, no. If anybody ever bails, generally speaking, I am available. It's just, why is there a nail gun in it? I mean, I guess it makes sense, but
it's Enter the Gungeon. It has guns.
We're glad
it is a gun. It is a gun by definition, yes.
And by title.
We're glad it's not the BBC, because then the random person that we get is just not someone who just come in for a job interview for something completely different. So he has to sit there and just wing it through the interview, just thinking, that he's supposed to be someone who's actually, an expert in this, when he's just like turned up.
Oh, that's how it works.
But on tonight's show, it's going to be the E3 Fallout, what we thought of it from what we did see. We listed the games, so we're going to pick through ones that look interesting to us and then talk a bit about them.
So we're just going to bypass EA.
Pretty much.
Wait, there was an EA presser?
It was about sports and Battlefield.
All I remember was sports.
They're like a dog, but instead of bark, it's sports.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
There is a couple of news stories as well to go with this, what we've been playing, any shout-outs, and then we will talk about next week, because next week is a very, 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 very special.
There's a lot happening in one day, in one show.
Oh, yeah, which has led to a lot of stuff to do this week.
A lot of me delegating to Will.
Yeah, it makes a change, really, doesn't it? It's like, can you do this stuff? Okay. I even had Kimmy asking me to do stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Fall asleep, But it's all good. It's for a good reason, and you'll see this soon. You will see the fruits of our labor very soon. But let's get on with tonight's show, because we got the two bits of news that we're going to go through first, and they are Take-Two, the parent company of Rockstar, have suddenly decided the modding for Grand Theft Auto 5 is illegal.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so they sent a cease and desist order to Outworld 4 to say, no, stop it. And Outworld are like, okay, well, why?
Why?
But but rather than fight it, because they know it would take up time, resources, money, they just really don't want to fight. I mean, they said they could win it, but it's just it's more hassle than what it's worth. Yeah. So they went, yeah, okay, we'll just shut down. Which I think, in a long-term strategy, it will piss off mods a lot more, so it will have a backfiring effect on Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not the only mods.
This is entirely a bad move. I don't see the good that they expect to get out of making this decision, personally.
I mean, you look at a game like Skyrim that has gotten way much more life than it really should have, thanks to an entire community.
It should have been had that first year.
And Rockstar went, you know that game that's been out for like 10 years and is still going on, and that now Bethesda's going to have people pay for mods again. Surprise, that happened.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's not going to last.
That's not going to last, but they do that. That's not a good business plan. So let's fuck those people.
It just makes no sense at all, really, does it? I mean, Jim Sterling went on about this. Other people have gone on about this, and it's like, well, hang on a second here. You're saying you're doing it to protect your online, but it's shown in the past, even with Rockstar, who have embraced modding. They have said, come, do this. They even had people on their, on the modding community, highlighted on their website talking about the mods they've done. So it just shoots them in the foot. It really does. And their parent company have gone above them and went, no, we don't want this.
So it's the parent company, not Rockstar.
Yeah, it's the parent company, not Rockstar for it. It just sounds like it's just a stupid move, really.
100%. It's pretty much. I can't think of an instance where mods have not, in one way or another, extended a game's lifespan. So the question is, why would you want to deny somebody who you're not paying to do these things, to add things to your game that are going to make people pay more for it and could potentially have people buy that game for those mods, like Arma 2. Every single fucking person that bought Arma 2 solely so they could play DayZ. How many sales did they get off of that? And I mean, that's not every mod that happens like that, but they don't hurt. There's no damage that a mod could theoretically do.
Yeah, as long as the modder's not asking for monetary gain, there's...
Right.
It doesn't hurt your business strategy. It's free. It's free advertisement in a sense.
The issue they have is with people modding in the online format. It does ruin the gameplay. As someone who plays GTA 5 online sometimes, spawning in and then immediately being trapped in a boat and then killed repeatedly, not fun. And that's a very frequent thing. That's incredibly frequent. So I see them getting pissed off at that and just kind of getting fed up and going, fuck it, everything.
There must be a way that you could separate it so that mods can't work in the online lobby.
I'm sure they could find a way, but it's...
That's the thing. They'd rather just say, fuck it.
They'd rather just say, fuck it, and ban anyone who finds it. Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I know the answer to this. Saints Row 5 online is going to be just fucking shit tons
only
of mods all over.
You literally
the place.
can't play without mods.
It's gonna. The only way online is going to exist is they're basically going to be like, fuck it, we don't want to build the online modding community. Figure this out. It is just going to be dildo bats for days.
There's literally no game without mods. You have to make a character via modding. You have to use the mod tools to make your character.
Because that is how that happens. That is how any Saints Row game happens. Controversy about GTA? Well, let's make a game based on it. You want bulge sliders? We'll give you bulge sliders.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. Is like Blau just posted in my channel that I guess the mod that they DMCA'd, it doesn't even work online in the first place. It's not something that functions in online, apparently. So that just kind of like founds it even more as to why they decided to pick that specific one.
Probably because the legal team can build a case against it.
Yep.
Probably the exclusive reason.
You know all that extra revenue we got because people were modding GTA 5 and buying the game modded? Let's use that revenue to sue those people.
Certainly seems that way.
But you see, you've also, James, you brought up a good point though as well. It's like
that's
with
first.
getting mods to do that. Well, we're almost 50 episodes. You've got to have one every 100, haven't you?
Yeah.
Hey, but the thing is though, if mods, you said about mods doing the online bit for Saints Row 5. Mods have been there though to actually repair games that have been broken.
Mm-hmm.
KOTOR 2 was fixed by modders.
What wasn't some
Vampire
Bethesda
the
game?
Masquerade game that was
Yeah.
well made, but fatally released ahead of schedule and underfunded, bugged to hell, and then people fixed it, and the game is a cult classic because of it.
And as Will said, every Bethesda game.
Yes, that is the Bethesda mentality, isn't it? It's just there's enough. The modding community will fix the rest of it.
I swear, like Fallout 4 was the best sandbox you could get. So like they basically said, here's all these cool tools in this game that has a very loose and okay written story. Modders go to town. And then the modding community just went, all right, Fallout 4, let's do this. And I have to say, like, I just played a Fallout 4 mod that was so good that I didn't know that it wasn't part of the original game. They're like, oh yeah, this is modded content. I'm like, but it's fully voice acted. And like, fully voice acted with the main character voicing new lines. And I didn't know the difference. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's good. It's great. There's no difference. Fallout 4. It's better if it's modded. That's why you buy PC. I'm telling you now. It's why you buy PC. Don't let them fucking... Yeah, we have mods on PlayStation and Xbox. No, you don't have the good mods. PC.
No, Xbox
PC.
is trying.
Yeah.
What if I want? Yeah, but it's like what if I want my super sexy 3D anime waifu mods? Are those going to be on console, or are those going to be banned because they may or may not have
a banned left and right.
Here's the question: Thomas the
No, they're
Tank
gonna be
Engine
extra
Dragon mod.
priced.
Thomas the Tank Engine Dragon mod. Can you get that on console? You have
Probably not.
You have not played Skyrim.
Fuck you. No, not that one. The Randy Savage Dragon mod.
No.
Is on
Brother.
the Microsoft is on Xbox.
And what the Ultimate Warrior mod?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! When the alien starship comes down.
With you, Hulk Hogan. Oh.
When you're gonna be the cream of the crop. Oh, the weed of the top, brother.
I want my anime waifu wielding clouds, wielding
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wielding Sonic the Hedgehog. Wielding a magic sword.
Wielding Zelda Master Sword and wielding the Buster Sword with Sonic wielding Sephiroth's sword.
As a
Riding
companion.
a Liger from BattleBots. Fighting against He-Man and freaking Skeletor on the top of the mountain. While freaking Gordon from Thomas the Tank Engine flies around singing Fustu Ra. I mean, can you get that anywhere else but in a PC modding experience? No.
The question though
Well,
is
maybe an acid trip.
what?
It's a way to... Don't do drugs, kid. Just mod Skyrim.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper. It really is. You can
Unless-
probably get Skyrim for like $10.
Although we really don't recommend doing both at the same time.
Yeah.
By the way, it's a very dangerous experience.
That is how... That's how you tear a hole in the center of the universe.
That's how you die. It's how your brain literally melts in your head.
That's how you beat No Man's Sky.
That's how you beat No Man's Sky.
You-
Shit ton of acid and modded Skyrim.
exactly. You gotta have Pink
Nice
Floyd
enough.
playing in the background.
Alright.
Pink Floyd too. Dark Side of the Moon. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. Good evening, Simmer. How you doing? But you see, with like Microsoft not trying to do stuff like this, bring more mods on than Sony for Skyrim, it does lead us to my second piece of news, and it involves Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, trying to do crossplay with, Minecraft and Rocket
Well,
League.
Didn't Sony sit there and go, no, we're not doing crossplay?
Yep. they
Sony
went
was cunts.
through.
Yeah, Sony was a fucking dumbass in that regard.
Yeah, that the arrogance of Sony is starting to show again. I mean, especially with Jim Ryan was on about it, and
Fuck is this weasel cat?
I mean, he's what? That's what they call Jim
Are you
Ryan.
playing modded Skyrim? Do we need
No.
to have an intervention? Do we need to have an intervention?
I can't mod it anymore. I have one mod that never left. It's still in my game. I have moved to 2 different computers, clean wiped everything. It's not on the Steam store. It's only on Nexus, and it's infected my game, and I can't get it off. It is eternally in there.
Hey, you want some Skyrim?
No, I want less Mistwalkers in my fucking Skyrim.
Oh yeah, apparently
Because they
Sony,
don't actually exist. They crashed my game. I'm so upset about it.
apparently Sony also said that nobody wants backwards compatibility.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
Microsoft went, "We're going to put the original Xbox games on the Xbox One now as well."
And Nintendo was
Oh my
like,
God.
"We have a Mario game."
But yeah, it was
You
during the
dinosaur.
it was during the
You can
Microsoft
put
press
hats
conference.
on things.
Yeah, it was during the Microsoft press conference though, where I was watching the Minecraft bit, and then you see the Switch just appear on there, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Waiting to see whether you see the PS4 console on it, which didn't show, and then you see crossplay. I'm like, oh, I like this. And then you hear about the crossplay with consoles, and you're thinking, well, is Sony going to do this? And then later on in the day went, oh, no, Sony don't want it. It's like, why not? You know, they're kind of like this, the same thing with Rocket League. I mean, their excuse is, oh yeah, but we do it with PC. Like, yeah, but why not do it with the other consoles? Now, I can see where the point is, they're saying, or someone was saying this, like, well, with Minecraft, you have to log in to Xbox Live to do this, and Sony aren't happy with that because their biggest official line on this is, well, we can't protect people on our system if they're doing crossplay, so we won't allow it. We don't want that. And it's like, right, okay, when you're playing Rocket League crossplay, you can avoid the abusive stuff from other people on PC by a very simple thing of turning the chat window off at the corner, right up there. You can turn that off.
Xbox is magically better at hacking than a PC.
And it's quite ironic here that Sony would say this because 2010 they somehow forgot to protect people with when PSN was hacked and it was down for 6 weeks.
Jesus.
Do we not remember this?
Oh, I remember it.
It's like, how can they suddenly go from being all sorry with that back to being arrogant? They didn't learn their lesson. And even, true. Once they got the money and they got back ahead with the PS4, it's like, it's just, they've spouted up with the arrogance again. It's just very, very silly. Will they actually turn around and say, yeah, all right, we'll slack that bit, do it?
I
Down
doubt
the
it.
line, maybe. If there's enough outcry, which there seems to be. I mean, even Simmer saying Sony shoots themselves in both feet. It's true. It really is true what they've done. For silly reason. It's just, Sony, sort it out. Because we want to play with people, across all platforms, because that will help make gaming inclusive more. I think Sony just want it though because they want people to buy their stuff.
Right.
That's
Their
probably it.
And with this way, it gives people the choice of what console do you want to play it on if you can play it with all your friends across platform. Which you can see from a business point of view, that would be a smart thing for them to say. But for as a consumer, it just pisses the consumer off and and you push them away. You just go, no, we don't want it. We just want your money. We'll take that, but we don't want you. Which handily leads us to E3.
The biggest, we want your money in gaming anything.
It's the game.
You could have streamed this trailer for much cheaper.
I will continue to preach. But did you guys see any of E3?
Well, I saw the most of the press conferences. I didn't watch
watched
the.
Bethesda.
I didn't watch like the 2 or 3 days of just streams from the show floor, but
Yeah. No worries,
All right.
mate. No worries. Because yeah. So I like yourself, Regis. I watched the presses, including the Devolver one, which
that was
let's
something else.
let's get this one out of the way first. It was a fucking riot. In
It was like
I was-
15 minutes at 1:00 in the morning. Was it?
Yeah, it was 6 a.m. here, and
God.
I had about 4 hours sleep. I woke up for I woke up for the Bethesda one, and stayed up for that, and so I'm already really really knackered. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
A friend of mine described it best as if the best thing you can compare it to is if you were watching Adult Swim at like 4:00 in the morning. It's like it's on par with like the things that are on that time of day on Adult Swim. Just how fucking weird it was.
It was off the wall. It's like, huh? What? But then again, that's Devolver in a nutshell.
It is.
And because I know people who are part of Devolver. I know people who stream for Devolver, and the humor it was oozing from that presser, just how mental they are.
So special.
Every expo they go to, right? They have one of the streamers dress up in a gorilla suit and attack Chris Slight. Every time, just randomly jumps over the couch and starts pulling into Chris. So yeah, there was the really early access.
Oh yeah, the earliest
early.
access.
So if
Whatever
your
it was they
developer
called.
thinks it has the idea, it's there for you to buy.
Conceptual idea. That's when it's ready to purchase.
And then you had the money into the screen. It's like, well, there's a disconnect between having the money that you want to pay for a game and actually paying for the game. So now this year we bring out you could throw to the screen. So you can actually get your money, throw it into the screen, and it goes directly to Devolver Digital.
And then you saw a guy lose his arm.
Yep. So it's like, watch it if you haven't already. It is brilliant. The funniest bit of what I would say was a disappointing E3.
Yeah, but when aren't E3s disappointing?
Well, I mean, to be fair the past couple have been good. It's just
Some of the conferences have, yeah.
This one just felt there was something missing. There was no wow.
I mean, I was kind of wowed when they actually decided they were going to release a new Metroid game, but yeah.
Yeah, but even so, there was just that. That was like for next year, isn't it?
They didn't even have a date. They were just like, we're making it, and that was it.
So yeah, so there was. To me, there was just none. There was no wow factor. There was nothing that really sort of reached through and just went, "This is the moment. This is something that you really, really want." Whereas some games were good. We've seen a lot of them before, and
Yeah, actually, that's true. The EA conference was boring in new ways. There's at least that.
EA was one of the worst conferences there.
Yeah.
I think it was beaten. It was beaten to worst by Bethesda. But
Bethesda was like, this is really nice presentation. But what the fuck am I watching? Like, I want to see games, not here at Bethesda Land. We have all these new. It's like, just what are you doing?
Oh, DLC.
Paid DLC. Woo! Oh, a new DLC for Dishonored 2. Can you fix the game so that it plays on PC properly first?
Although, to be fair, guys, I did predict that.
That it was going to be a DLC for Dishonored.
For Dishonored, yeah, a major DLC.
I mean, I'm not surprised by it in the least. But did they even release anything for Doom? I don't remember.
They did Doom VR, but they're working on Quake right now.
Who cares? I don't know. I'm one of those people that looks at VR and I'm like, this is literally at this point nothing more than a gimmick. These games that they're making for them look like the most dull shit that I have seen because it's so limited. Because you until that stupid fucking until they find a way to make that stupid fucking like treadmill that you can stand on and walk around on, until they can make that something that will actually sell, I don't think VR is ever going to work until that something like that happens. Until it is at the point where I can move instead of being like, oh, I'm pointing over there, click, and then fuck motion sickness, probably from getting fucking thrown halfway across the room when you're not actually moving. I can only imagine that must make some people fucking bummed.
See, the real games that for me were for note were because as Doom VFR, which did you see how they control the movement of Doom in that? Rather than just normal moving around, you point in a direction, then it comes up with the arrow and so like the arc where you want to go. You press it and then you just zoom over to there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like doing that. I mean, I don't know. I've never worn it, but I look at that and I feel if I was in VR doing that, I would feel motion sickness from just all of a sudden like relocating somewhere else and not having any sensory feedback that I've moved there.
Yeah. I
feel like I would be like, oh God. But there's no other way they can do something like that. There's no other way you can move in VR unless you're going to have like, a D-pad or a control stick on the handles themselves. Until they find a way to make that whole treadmill thing work.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with other VR games, like, and even the one they showed after, Fallout 4. Fallout 4, you were able to move because I think you're using your control pad.
Yeah.
While you're in there, so it's like if they could do it with Fallout 4 and have it the full game of Fallout, why the hell did they do the weird movement shit on Doom?
That's what
they didn't do weird movement shit on Doom. They were doing the same as Fallout with Doom. They did it 3VR, which was Fallout, Doom, and then they went into that game that we said it seconds ago.
Dishonored.
Yeah, Dishonored was the one that was teleporting.
Oh yeah, the Dishonored one. No, the Doom one was teleporting too.
Yeah, it's like they put Blink in Doom.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it looked like.
This is weird. I mean, Simmer says
again. I think the reason why they had to do it Doom is unlike Fallout, Doom is so fast that I think it might have been awkward to try and do that in VR, because if Doom was in VR and like moving around like that, that would almost definitely make me motion sick because of how fucking fast you're just jumping and oh my God, I would probably like lose my fucking stomach.
Just quickly looking into the chat, Simmer says he is with you, Regis, on that on VR. VR is overhyped and to say all games can only be played on VR is bull. Kim is saying she wouldn't mind a D-pad for VR. But I know that they're working on Project Cars 2 to have VR, and one of the big things they're trying to sort out and get by is the motion sickness part.
Mm-hmm. That's like the biggest problem with it for a lot of people, from what I understand, is that they try to play it and then they just feel like they're gonna fucking hurl.
Yeah, and well, it depends on some games for me. I mean, Super Stardust in VR, there's that mode where you're actually on the planet side and you're moving around. That made me feel like I want to throw up with the motion sickness and the real dizziness on there.
Like, I feel like VR has potential. It's just it's being shoved so hard right now without the hardware or the technology and software that would be needed to make it actually good, in my opinion. I mean, I've seen some. I remember, I think it was last year. There was some VR game that was like an audio, like your two VR things were like shields, and like it would play music and it would like fire lasers at you from other directions. And it's like something like that. That's neat because you don't need to move technically for that. It's a nice. I mean, it's a game that I would probably play a handful of times and then never play again. So it's not like that would justify spending the $600 most of the VR things are usually going around for. Like how
the way
expensive are
I
they?
see, the cheapest one is $300. The most expensive I've seen is $1,200.
Yeah.
They're not cheap though, but I see VR as being a very good outlet for sci-fi games.
Yeah,
which they haven't been working on, which is really upsetting. Like, come on, it's a fucking obvious market. I don't have the skills for it because I'm mediocre. But like, how do you guys not see that shit?
Okay. But what about Star Trek: The Bridge? Where you're part of the crew.
You see
Even better, you have a personal, like, have a fighter sim, a space fighter sim,
yeah.
where you can do that, and like you have different regions to control.
Revive X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Fucking
in VR.
Disney, get on that shit. Star Wars, get on that shit. Make it.
Well, they kind of did do that for Battlefront with the PlayStation VR, but they only did it for one.
Do it
mission.
better. Do it more.
They should do more. We want more.
Yes. I mean, naturally, the only way they're going to improve and get better at it is to keep fucking up until they realize, this isn't making as much money as we want. And then hopefully somebody will go, maybe we should do it a little differently. And then, pray.
Because they're not going to listen to anyone unless it's a massively successful indie company. They're going to listen to literally zero people.
Yeah.
See,
We got a lot of
someone says-
feedback, but we're going to do the exact same thing 2 times in a row. But we're going to call it something slightly different. And you're going to accrue points slightly differently. That's it. But don't worry. We're not doing the thing again. I swear to fucking God, it's not the same as before.
So,
Are we talking about Bethesda?
No, we're
Yeah.
talking about EA.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about EA yet. It's trying to throw you.
No, let's be right back.
let's roll.
real
Oh,
quick.
shit.
I just need to go to the bathroom.
I was suddenly in a fight.
Similar also says Elite Dangerous does the flight sim, the dogfighting, but he also wants X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Do a better space sim, not just arcadey crap. Which they're valid points. They are valid points. But then we moved on to one actually I did like, and there's 3 bits there that I was actually sort of interested in. The DLC for Dishonored 2, Kill the Outsider, with Dowd's come back. I mean, primarily because I've been playing it again of late. With getting it going through Dishonored 2 for the Sunday service, after playing Dishonored. And ironically, doing what I have to do for next week's show, been listening to you, Chris, playing Dishonored 2 back in the day. Going through the non-stealthy approach and then trying to do the stealth version of it and being annoyed because of how hard the bloody bit is to do. So I'm looking forward to the DLC for Kill the Outsider for Dowd. But there was also 2 other games they mentioned. Evil Within 2.
What's that?
And the Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2.
Oh, yeah.
Colossus, which
I really should
badass.
buy. I should buy the previous Wolfenstein and actually play a Wolfenstein game for the first time in my life.
It's actually, I'm looking at it right now. It's half off on Steam right now. You can get it for $9.
I actually,
They're both really good. They're both really good.
Which one? The
'Cause
New
there's-
Order and
there's-
Cold Blood?
Yeah,
They're both of them, yeah.
they're both really good.
Oh, yes,
Frankly,
they are.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them. It literally, as I said that, I scrolled down on Steam and I was like, "Oh, hey there, half off." What do you know?
Yeah, they're worth full price.
Well,
Like,
I'm sure. I mean,
but I mean half off. Why not?
oh god. I think my favorite. This is somewhat sidetracking, but my favorite thing that's come from E3, frankly, you know the scene in the Wolfenstein trailer where like the Nazi, it's in the bar and he's like ordering the fucking milkshake or whatever, and he's just kind of like leaning on the bar.
Mhm.
Somebody fucking photoshopped John John's face onto that. just because of that one part in Starcade when he was in a fucking SS uniform for a joke. He's constantly like, people will always post like pictures of him in just a Nazi uniform, and somebody just photoshopped this piss on it.
Hang on.
And I am just, I cried when I saw it. I was dying.
Oh, that's funny.
I think James is looking for it.
Yeah. Hold. Please hold.
That's fine. That's fine because we can link to EA for that bit because I'm sure.
By the way, when you guys watched it, I don't know why, but like I'm remembering EA playing a very not EA Bethesda playing a very specific song. Oh, maybe it was EA. Maybe
Donkashin. It was Donkashin.
Yeah, no, I don't know why, but I'm picturing a different song like in my head. But it may have been EA who did it because I think I also watched EA's for a little bit.
And God, I wish I didn't. Most of it, because it's Madden 18. Yeah, fine. It's Madden. FIFA. It's FIFA. NBA Live. Oh, it's basketball looking quite nice, and I really should play some basketball again. But it's like, woohoo! It's more that. Need for Speed.
Found it.
Looks nice.
Where is it?
It's on the stream.
It's on the stream.
Oh shit!
It's just boom right across everything. Because here's the thing, I don't know why, but like I'm very distinctly remembering "Raise Hell" by Dorothy playing in E3 somewhere, but I don't know where. And now like I don't know why, but my brain keeps overlaying it over Wolfenstein. But it's not because I was excited from another game.
Yeah, Wolfenstein was Donkashin.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know what played it. What like because I don't remember watching any other thing.
Well, it could have been if it's EA and it wasn't. It wouldn't have been Need for Speed because even though that looks like it's going to be almost trying to be like Burnout with how it was playing. It might have been A Way Out, which was the big thing that really caught my attention at EA Play, where you're playing one of two convicts, and it is pretty much a co-op game, but it's split screen and co-op all the way through it. And one of the cool things about this game,
oh wait, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
they get from the people who did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was the one. Yeah, that was the one thing that was at their conference. I was like, oh, neat. Everything else was.
Yeah, including Battlefront 2, even with Janina, who I kind of know of because I spoke to her briefly a few years ago as part of PS Nation podcast.
I was like, okay, well, you've released the same game, but you've added the stuff that we wanted in the first place.
So well done.
Okay, cool. Maybe I didn't buy the last one, so I don't feel like I'll be burned. But I mean, you could have done this the first time, Just saying. But yeah,
but A Way Out.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I like the fact that when you're playing this, if one person has the cutscene going on, it's in one side of the split screen. Whereas the other side, you can interact and move around while this cutscene's going on. So, what if you're looking down at your second player in this cutscene, standing like in attention on this line while the guards are talking to them or berating them, you're standing above the level. You can just move around and see it.
And you can literally watch that cutscene happening from your own perspective
in real time. It's like that is really cool.
Can you crouch in that game?
I believe so.
I just imagine just like the cutscene going on and like player 2 just like walking into a wall the entire time. And then
I'm imagining they're probably going to make it so that because all the times they showed it, like the one he's talking about, you're on like a catwalk or like an upper level looking down on it. I'm assuming every time they're doing that, they're probably going to make it so that you're separated to a point that you can't get to each other, so that things like that don't happen.
But you just see a guy teabagging like in the middle of a catwalk in the middle of your cutscene. just like
Like your buddy just walk off the catwalk just over and over again.
Yeah.
Restart the cutscene just over and over.
You created a time paradox.
Remind me later during what we've been playing about teabagging, right? If I forget this, because something that happened earlier today about with that. Just remind me. Okay. But yeah, so that was pretty much EA. They said about Battlefield 1 DLC, which is quite nice. Like, the Tsar for from the Russian front.
You
it
want
looked
to
like.
play Cossack? You play Cossack. It is good for you. You fight this Russia. It is good. We like.
Yeah.
We
The
drink
lethal
vodka
female
and fight
army
good.
or unit.
We also have women snipers. They are very angry. They shoot you in face. You like it? I don't like shooting face. You shooting? Yeah.
Oh my lord!
And then we move on to what is now. This is it could be controversial because I placed it here in my ranking of
Oh boy!
how crap it's really quite good. Was the PC gaming show?
I missed it, so I have no input. All I know is I caught the very end of it, and then I heard the XCOM 2 had a DLC, and I was like, "Woo!" And then I literally nothing else as to what happened.
No,
to it.
expansion, not DLC. Expansion. So it's like
Yeah,
the,
It's a phrase we haven't used in the industry in a long time.
I know. Yeah.
A long time.
What's it? Was it Brood War? Was Brood War the last expansion ever? I think it was Brood War. You quote me on this.
No, I think it was The Sims. I think it was The Sims was the last one that called it expansions.
The Sims 1 or 4?
3, I think, was the last one to call it expansions.
3.
Yeah.
Because 4 was DLC
Technically-
again.
Technically, StarCraft 2, their campaigns were considered and called expansions, I believe. So I don't know what came later in its life, StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, or whatever. Fucking one of 5 million Sims 3 quote-unquote expansions, because those things were practically fucking DLCs.
Once again, modding community could have just fixed that for you.
Yep.
For the most part, they did.
Yeah.
That was the thing. The Sims definitely supports mods, though. Like, the game is less fun without it.
Right, yeah. StarCraft 2 called it expansions, but technically each game was standalone.
Yeah.
Which is strange, but yeah.
And I just have to cut in with more chatter from the chat on Twitch. It's from Simmer again. He loves your Russian accent, James. He thinks it's very good.
Russian, you do good. You cut off voice every once in a while, and you drag words out. It's fun. I insult most Russian people probably with voice. I understand.
It's fine. It's fine. The Russian.
It is parody. It is parody. Parody. I do because I love. I do it from love.
The Russian man is going to walk up to you and be like, "Your parody is very funny, friend. But if you keep it up, you will learn why the Russians are not the
My
very
wife,
humorous
who is
people."
sniper, will shoot you in face. It is very bad.
He's very bad.
And if you want to put any offensive emails, it goes to james@tgwpi.com.
Send my
Come to
email.
my Discord and put your complaints right in the forefront.
Go right on ahead. We quote the disc. I would love to hear your thoughts.
And Tim also said, the expansion stuff, he goes, add-ons the B-Wing for add-on X-Wing. And he goes, fecker mold. You are, Simmer, you are old. We have discussed this in the past. Sorry, you are. But to continue with the PC gaming show, I mean, the other bits that were there, and we'll go through ones that I remember. Oblets, which is like quite a cutesy game, which kind of had a Pokemon sort of Stardew Valley sort of feel to it. BattleTech, which is based on the old board. It was a tabletop game.
Yep.
Oh, the old Mech Warrior stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. That could be interesting.
It looked really cool. It really did look pretty damn cool. You've got Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord.
Talk about a game that has gotten love from like the modding community. Mountain Blade, man.
Oh man,
Wow.
I'm looking forward to the second one for quite a while now. I've been waiting.
Yeah, Mountain Blade like 1. Let's just say there is a mod out for that game where you can play it in Star Wars and you play on planets and galactic map.
I'm pretty sure there's mods for 40K and Fantasy Warhammer as well.
Yep, there is. Yeah, no, like you talk about a community that has like just embraced a game. Mountain Blade, man, that game has gotten so much love from the mod community. That game's older than Skyrim, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mountain Blade's really fucking old at this point. Actually.
It is a well-deserved sequel. I'm not one to say there's a lot of 2s and showing up in the E3s now. And a lot of 3s, but this is definitely worth a 2. And definitely the game who follows it should have just been an expansion and not a freaking second game with Total War Warhammer 2.
Yeah, because I was listening. It's just couple of new armies, isn't it? About what, 2, 3, 4?
A new continent, a couple new armies. Yeah, Mountain Blade, the original at the very least, Mountain Blade, 2010. It's been 7 years.
Skyrim's been like 10.
Bullshit, Skyrim's been 10. Skyrim's like 4 years, 5 maybe 6. 2000. Wait, oh, that's special edition. Where the fuck's the original?
2011. My bad.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah.
What?
Skyrim is November 11th, 2011. 11,
That's
11,
right.
11.
That's right, because it was freshman year, so half the people in the class didn't show up. They canceled class that day.
No,
And
this
it's
is impossible. I swear I was playing Mountain Blade before college. No. There's some time paradox going on
I'm
here.
talking Skyrim, not Mountain Blade.
Well, I know, but Mountain Blade was 2010. I'm just saying, like, those two games. No. I disbelieve you, Steam. I disbelieve you and your lies.
Well, it's Wikipedia, so...
Oh, wait, that's Warband. What was the original one?
Yeah.
2008.
2008, yeah.
Okay, there we go. That sounds a bit more feasible. Okay. Now I feel a little less insane.
But once again, a game that came out in 2011 is a launch title for a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
I do enjoy all the like Nintendo Skyrim for the Switch. Next is gonna be Skyrim for the mobile phone, and then 2020.
Next is gonna be Skyrim for the Rock.
Yeah, Skyrim for the Rock. You can play Skyrim on a rock. Because
somebody made the point. I don't know anything about it because I never actually beat Skyrim, but somebody was like,
has anybody?
This is like.
I think speedrunners have beaten Skyrim, and that's been about it.
The people were like, by killing Anduin, we fucked up the timeline because I guess he was supposed to like end the world or end the time. So that's why Skyrim keeps getting released, because time is repeating itself now.
I wish they were that meta. I wish like Bethesda was just like, you've broken the timeline, so we keep releasing this game because you busted the timeline. Like, that would give me a little bit more faith in them as a company. It's like, okay, so they're just trolling us. All right, that's fine. All right, I can be trolled. I get it. It's just like, let's not take us seriously. It's like, hey, you got your Skyrim VR, your Skyrim on PlayStation, your Skyrim on mobile, and your Skyrim mugs, and your Skyrim hats, and your Skyrim dish towels, and your Skyrim bathroom toilet paper, and your Skyrim piss pucks for urinals.
I'm just going to say this right now. Oblivion is better.
What? All right. So what's better, Oblivion or modded Skyrim?
Modded Skyrim.
Modded Skyrim. Do you want to play a strategy game? Mod Skyrim. Do you want to play a total text-based role-playing game? Mod Skyrim. Do you want to play StarCraft? Mod Skyrim.
Modded Skyrim. You want to play modded StarCraft? Modded Skyrim.
Modded Skyrim.
No, that's a tangent. I was gonna. No.
Go for it. Do it.
But back in the chat, Simmer again goes, LOL, I went to uni to game Doom. The first Doom with coaxial network cables. And then he goes, Moby James.
Rings a bell.
And Kim says, the patron saint of Tig Whippy, I may say. A co-worker of hers said they will announce Half-Life 3 when he breathes his last breath.
No,
So
see,
might as well do this.
Honestly, I hope just one day, without any fanfare, without even putting it up on the front of the Steam page store,
They just put
Valve
it
just
up.
puts it on Steam and then says nothing about it. And they just wait.
all right, guys.
Here's the best part: is they can afford to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
This is what we need to do. This is how we get Half-Life 4 released, guys. We find a dying kid.
Half-Life 4?
Yeah, because you got to have 3 and then 4. We find a dying kid. We go to Make-A-Wish Foundation. Because Gabe Newell is all over this stuff. And we make his dying wish to play, Half-Life 3. Because he has it.
Mm-hmm.
You know he has it. It's been there.
Or I can just stop taking all my meds for about a month or two.
But you're not a kid! Do you know how crazy kids
No.
went for Batman Kid?
But still,
We need Gordon
there's a
Freeman
plan
Kid.
here. I just start to lose. I start to lose a lot of weight. I look really, really bad. We go up to him and go, look, he would like Half-Life 3. He just wants to play it before
it happens.
Yeah.
What happens?
Then when
It-
it's released, I start taking, the meds come back on. I start, looking healthier again.
And you go, Half-Life 3 saved my life.
All praise Gabe Newell, patrons.
So I need to put a disclaimer here that I in no way, shape, or form endorse in any way
I don't endorse my own
very
idea.
serious illness to get a game.
I don't endorse my own idea.
Just because he does it doesn't mean he endorses it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Now there's a phrase I haven't heard in years.
I am not a credible source.
Because remember, kids, I gotta be responsible.
One of us
So,
has
yeah,
to
anyway.
be.
There's a conference we were talking about, wasn't there? Yes. So Shadowverse expansion. There was a
Ooh.
card game, more cards coming for it. Someone got excited on there that I didn't know.
Wait, what was it?
Yeah.
No, what was it that you said released?
Shadowverse, the expansion to it.
I have no idea what Shadowverse is.
It's apparently a well-known card game.
Ooh, I don't play many card games, so I mean. Shadowverse CCG. Okay, that is on Steam.
Yeah.
It has mixed reviews. Okay.
As
that that means
as most digital card games do.
I'll let James say the next one because he has his campaign that he wants
Destiny
to
2 has a release
Yeah.
date, and you can buy
Yeah.
it now on Battle.net and pre-order it to play in the beta.
See, I'm happy that they decided to make the smart choice and release it on PC as well.
Yeah, uncapped frame
Obviously.
rate.
Obviously,
Yeah,
that is going to have many benefits.
many.
I played Destiny 1. I did not play much of the DLCs because I felt like paying $30 for a small addition to the story and another raid was ridiculous. And I'm hoping that maybe somewhere in the depths of their half-dead hearts, Bungie will realize that that's not the best marketing strategy and won't sell content for like $25, $35.
No, they will, because they're billing it as an MMO versus a shooter.
I know.
And by the
I
way,
know.
it was a lot worse than the DLCs that you would pay for to get in Black Ops 3. Pay $15 to get 3 multiplayer maps and zombies.
I know. But I was a kid back then. I was stupid. Now I know what I'm looking at. I know I shouldn't be fucking buying that shit. I just sat there and I was like, the game was fun for a while, and then it became a grind, and I stopped playing because the way they handled it was the fact that if you didn't buy the expansions, you couldn't do endgame content anymore. You couldn't do like the queue for the raids was always set to whatever the current max level was. And if I'm stuck at 20 and the max level for the raids is or
Light
the
level.
the light level 28, yeah, it's like I can't do that. I have to pay to be able to play the basic light level, higher end light level missions. Again, at this point, like I was just like, I don't want to do this. At some point, I saw that they put them out for like $60 to buy the whole thing. I was like, I'm making money. What the fuck? I don't care. And then I played for like a week and went, this just isn't good enough.
Yeah, I was. It was very weird for me with Destiny. That I started out thinking, yeah, it was all right. Then it came to a point where I started playing alongside people, and I thought, this is great.
Yep.
And then about 2-3 weeks into that, I just got very bored of doing the same missions over and over again. No change in the patterns of the actual enemy. Nothing. It's just the same bit for the same. It's just like, so why am I doing this? This is just, I'm done with it. And I never went back. Yeah. And I see people getting all excited about it. And I just went, I can't, I just can't do that. I mean, it's this exact same pattern. It's just, no. That just becomes a definition of insanity.
That's what an MMO is. It is doing the same thing multiple times and expecting to get a different result and still not getting the piece of gear that you want. That is an MMO in a nutshell. It is the definition of insanity.
Or a loot crate in Overwatch.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Don't talk to me. Do not talk to me.
No, but we shall move swiftly on. There's a game called a company that changed the name to Tunic. Now I can't remember the exact details of the game itself, but because I just showed a brief trailer again. So there was that, and then Battlegrounds. They mentioned some new stuff, like a new gun, which is the crate only.
Battlegrounds gave me a heart palpitation, though, with one of their post E3 announcements. I think it was.
Yeah.
They all of a sudden just came out and said, "We're adding zombies," and I went, "No, don't do this. Do not become DayZ." And then they were like, "It's player zombies, and it's going to be a separate game mode." And I was just like, "Okay."
Ironically, it was a mod that made that mode.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was like, but they didn't say that at first. Their first announcement was just like, "We're adding zombies," and I was like, "No!
Why, God? Why?
Why have you forsaken me?"
This mode, for anybody who doesn't know, is there's one team of 4, and it'll be a group of your friends if you squad up against the rest. I think it's still 100 people tops.
Yep.
But there'll be up to 96 zombies.
So it's the streamer mode. It's streamers versus chat. That's what it is. It's streamers versus chat.
I love it.
But the new modes that they were on about for Battlegrounds, apart from the new gun, is you got 2 new maps coming. Okay. Also new weather effects, like you can have it at different times of the day, so you can have the sun setting, which is quite nice.
There'll be snow.
Fog as well in there.
I mean, fog's good. But I just want snow, and I want footprints in the snow, so you can fucking like track people.
Oh, that would be brilliant. Then you can set people up.
Yeah.
You could put like, if you could have like a mine, put it around there and have it cover, have it in the snow print. You could have people trace your prints and just go bang, kill them off that way. Brilliant. That would be fantastic.
I had to go look at DayZ again because we started talking about Pugba. Do you know what DayZ's release date on Steam was?
No.
December 16th, 2013. Do you know what the wording is for DayZ right now? It says, DayZ, warning, this game is an early access alpha. Please do not purchase it unless you want activity support to develop the game. It's been in alpha for fucking how long?
6 years.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's...
And then we have Pugba, which is obviously a better version of DayZ.
Yep.
It is more fun.
And there will be news of that in the Microsoft bit of E3, which we'll get to in a little bit, because there was more talk about Killing Floor. Killing Floor 2. They're going to be doing a VR version of Killing Floor called Incursion.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember hearing about that.
Don't worry, James, I'll wake you up in a second.
Yeah, let me know when the VR talk is over, because we know my thoughts on VR.
You're going to get little power naps through this. It's all right.
No,
It's fine. But they did mention as well something that they did do in Killing Floor, and it was the seasonal events they're bringing to Killing Floor 2. At the moment, there's going to be one called the Summer Sideshow, which is
similar to one that they did in Killing Floor 1.
Yeah.
My question, and I could be wrong, but I thought I saw it as a paid feature and not a free update like they did in Killing Floor 1.
They didn't say it was paid.
I thought I saw Killing Floor and then whatever the fuck it was on the Steam store. I could have sworn I saw that. I could be wrong, but maybe it was just Killing Floor 2 and they had the picture changed for the fucking sideshow thing. But okay, yeah, that is what it is actually. Never mind me. I thought that they were actually trying to sell those as like extra content for like side things, and I was going to be livid if that was the case.
Because it would be really pissy, because they're doing things like weekly modes, so their modes will change.
Oh yeah.
Each week. So yeah, it would be a very shitty move if they charged for doing that. But yeah, so everything else in there. I mean, Forza 7 is going to be the first Forza that comes straight out on PC.
Oh, sorry, what?
Sports!
Hey, I'm a racing fan. I like it, you know.
What are they doing? They're going left! Still going left! See, when you say racing, that's what I think of. I don't think of like Robbie Hamilton and like everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
the really tight sort of racing that you can get, you know, you think it's just like the.
I always think street racing, which is way more interesting because I try to think of the most interesting thing out of all of it, so I don't fall asleep.
Tokyo Drift.
But there is a little bit more about that, about Forza in the Microsoft one, because they did a car showing.
Oh god. That's right.
Yeah, but we'll get to that when we get to Microsoft. They also showed Sea of Thieves.
Again, and they did it better this time, I feel.
Yeah.
Much better.
Because they actually did, it looked more like a hands-on playable demo of this rather than like another trailer of Sea of Thieves.
And not to throw shade at all of us in general, but it didn't have, hey guys, let's get all these really cool and fucking streamers that nobody's ever really heard of, but apparently are famous. And let's get them to talk in really over-the-top and active ways that nobody who plays video games ever talks in. Why did they do that? Why is that every time they have to get like a YouTuber or a streamer, these people playing the game
Baby
are
boomers.
talking in ways that nobody talks in when they play video games?
Baby boomers.
All right, guys, let's get ready to do this.
Yeah, nobody says that.
Yeah.
And, all right, so allow me.
Are you guys hyped about this? That was really hyped, guys. Total
Would
hype.
you guys be
Really
willing to
cool.
set up a little mediocre scene real quick? Just a little acting scene together in a more reality scene, more reality format. James, are you back from the fucking bathroom yet?
Oh, fuck.
Are you fucking back yet?
So long. God fucking damn it. Can we just go with
Guys,
that?
we fucking started the queue like 2 hours ago, by the way.
So James, when you're back from the
Shit,
bathroom.
the queue popped! Guys, are we all here? James, are you fucking here?
Look at your phone. At Chipotle.
God damn it! All right, hold on. Let me.
What do you want?
Yeah, I'm logging on my laptop so I can fucking.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing
Username
about
and
that.
password.
See, this is what I think
Queue
about it, because
popped.
there was one big thing I forgot about the EA bit, and it was the guy trying to present the Need for Speed trailer. who was the YouTuber who got a bit of stage fright. You know, well,
Oh yeah.
I've had stage fright in my life. It's not a fun experience. You just freeze up.
Yeah,
And
no
you get
situation
to
like,
feel
like you look at that, you're like, oh Jesus Christ, like that
But like,
fucking.
Try and give him
You
too
don't
much
want to be
shit.
in that kind of situation.
don't you pay PR people to do this? Don't you have a, I don't know, community manager to actually manage the community and go out and talk to people?
CMs don't do that anymore. They just shit post on Twitter and cause controversies.
I mean, you would think that sort of stuff, wouldn't you? But it's, do you know what
They
it feels
died in
like? They
2015.
tried to get, you know, people, obviously, you know, that these YouTubers, because they have a big audience.
Right.
But the thing that they forget is, if these YouTubers are just creating video content rather than live streaming content, that's a big different kettle of fish, because all they're doing is just talking to a camera, which if they screw up, stop, or
Record, erase,
just
go again.
new take. Whereas what we're doing now is potentially
fuck up.
we fuck up, we carry on.
Yeah.
We literally do. And this is the point of, because we're talking live, there's a chat room there that potentially will have quite a few thousand people. Yeah, obviously at the moment it doesn't, you know, but you think for this one.
Guys,
Yeah.
why don't
If
you
you
go and alert one other person nearby in a near room to come watch and see if we can't get
But
that
watch
to a
on their
reality.
separate device.
Yeah, it has to be on a
With
separate device.
with their own
so that we
separate
get the
account, please.
And show them how to use the bits feature, because that works. You can watch the ads, donate
Yeah, just have
bits,
them watch the ads, and then once they've watched all the ads they can, just make sure they give us the bits.
or if you want to feel so kind, you can use another email address and a separate browser and watch us on, you know, Mozilla or Safari.
Just-
We don't actually condone of that though. We don't officially condone of that.
yes, I would like my.
Especially if it's Internet Explorer. Don't. I would never ask anybody to do Internet Explorer.
So much of it.
But you see what I mean there? Is because we're doing this live, you know, we're doing it to an audience. We're not doing it to the point where we just go, okay, you know, we can do a retake on this. We just can't do that.
Apparently,
So I think
Tucker, you smell.
Oh, thank you.
That's from Salt.
Yeah,
that's
thank you,
insult,
Blau.
Blow.
No,
But yeah,
Very
so
kind
there's
of you.
different.
Much
I think-
appreciated, Blow.
Yeah, much appreciated. And
I'm glad you're enjoying my my thick scented pheromone musk enough to go to somebody else's channel and talk nice about it. Thank you.
He's using one of the new Devolver upcoming things of the smell-o-vision, where you can get bits, and every time you throw bits at the channel,
Just get-
the smell of the streamer comes wafting through for you.
You need to buy specialized speakers for it.
Yeah.
See,
Donate bits to the Hergelman stream, and what you get is the smell of Tide bleach and dryer sheets.
I thought it was the smell of tears.
No. It's the smell
Wes,
of
you come through-
laundry
you come through to us. It's the smell of success.
and Iron Brew. Hashtag sponsor, not
And
sponsor.
over,
Hashtag please sponsor us.
we will take Iron
please.
Brew.
Please.
So literally, I will take one Iron Brew a month, and I will shell out for you so hard.
iron broom pork pies.
Blau
What?
doesn't want the smell of bleach. He wants the taste of bleach. That's the other Devolver Digital advantage. You get their new system, and you get a nice little tube that feeds you whatever material the streamer happens to. I was gonna say
Be
produce,
displaying?
but that would not.
That would be
Yeah.
very different.
Wow.
That's for our After Dark show.
That's the porn. That's the Pornhub stream.
Yeah,
It's the Pornhub stream.
As Simon said, the smell of
Which
fear.
you can
DLC.
find me on Pornhub at Hergelman.
I have been half tempted just to make like a Tigwhip porn, just like with like the icon. So it's just like upload the
Honestly-
podcast there.
Honestly, why not? Like, there's no reason not to. See what happens. Why are you guys? Why is this
You just-
here?
no, you
I came
just-
across this.
You upload it. You upload your videos to Pornhub, but it always has to be titled something like "Porn."
Three guys get together.
You guys get together for some hard time. Just like a stream and just her gets fucking roasted the entire time. Gets uploaded to Pornhub. Fucking poor white boy.
See, the
Poor
bad
white
thing,
boy gets destroyed by 3 other men.
I just the poor woman. See, the bad part is I think of and I don't want to pick on her, but I just think of like the streamer like Lucy was on from Loading Bar.
Oh my god!
And it's just like 2 guys talk with a girl at a bar. See what happens next. And it's just, and it's just 2 guys talking to a girl in the bar, and they talk, and eventually they go to bathroom because it's all that half that stream is just us talking about her finding a pair of pants in the bathroom.
We will have to ask her for the update on that, whether she found the culprit.
Yeah, no, that was sick. The worst part is that like she comes saying pants, and obviously it means pants is in like the English style, which means underwear. I thought she literally meant pants. Like the guy
yeah,
just
I
like
thought full blown pants with
like
when she first said it.
sans pants. And I was just like, how does somebody? I mean, I can
Two
get it.
guys
saw the
get
picture.
together for a circle jerk post E3.
And then they go, what? It's just 3 people talking.
It's not
Aw.
the it's
Oh,
Well, I guess.
this is I didn't know.
But anyway, so that's why you don't have normal content creators on a conference without you have live streamers, because that way they're used to it in a way. But yeah, so last night was next, which looked like almost like a Blade Runner.
yeah, it was a cyberpunk. Honestly, when it first popped up, I didn't even realize it was Pixel. And then, like, you saw the character, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's strange. It's like beautiful, like artistically rendered background, and it's like, admittedly, really nicely pixelated guy." And then you see more of the environment, you're like, "Wait, all of this is pixelized."
Yeah, and it's like,
This
oh
looks
wow,
gorgeous. Like, holy shit. It's like one of those things where it's like you didn't realize pixel art could look that good when people put enough fucking effort into it. But
Yeah.
my god, that game looks gorgeous. And I love cyberpunk stuff, so I'm actually like excited to see what they're going to do with it.
I'm very interested in, because it also looks. It reminds me of like and then reminded other people of another world and Flashback in that sort of vein of game. It's sort of sideways platform puzzle, and so yeah, that's like interesting. Then again, that also
I'm sorry, I just looked up Markiplier's Pornhub video names, and I have to share some of these. What is sexy interracial man contemplates shoving a rock hard banana up his blank.
Oh my god, yes, I love those.
Fiery interracial man dips in cool ice bath while sucking down blank. There was a Jacksepticeye one saying Irish kink master sits while talking about his sexy porno fans. Mark Daddy gets gangbanged by naughty animatronics who want to blank. Angry father destroys son's bumhole and while a naughty interracial man blanks. That's him playing Happy Wheels. And then here's him playing a Hootie Pop Studio, which is the sexy seductive dirty interracial's reaction to his bumhole videos. And the last one I was gonna say is when they make when him and 2 of his other housemates actually go and they make the specialized waffles, flapjacks, and it says 3 hot men spray their thick creamy butter everywhere.
See, he does it. We can get away with it. Right. Back
And
to
the
chat.
cat video one is pussies with mouths on them make erotic noises.
Okay. Let's see.
Back to the chat.
Yeah, back on topic.
So, segue back in. Cinema goes. Anyone remember Dreamweb? A top-down cyberpunk.
No.
No.
I don't know. No, I can't
Cyberpunk is
say
like
I
something
know.
I got into within the like last 10 years. Generally, like I remembered first hearing about Shadowrun, and then there were those. There are 3 Shadowrun games that have come out on Steam, made by the same company whose name I can't think of now, but they've all been like turn-based strategy games like XCOM, and that's kind of like the stuff that's really gotten me into that kind of genre as a whole. But
XCOM is best.
I
If you can find it, try and get the original Syndicate.
Mm.
Because that was a real-time strategy. It was Cyberpunk, really, really good. Highly recommend it. It was from the Amiga days and the Atari days, so it's one that was, get it if you can. It's really good. Really,
those days, a wee bit too early for me.
And apparently, Dreamweb was 1993, so yeah, probably before you.
I was 5 years old.
So good old games. Go good on good ways, or get the original Deus Ex. That's hard Cyberpunk.
You see, I don't want to talk about it because one, I'll probably trigger people, and at the same time, it's such a segue that it'll take forever. So
we can
Never
save
mind,
that
kill
for
the
another
thought.
time.
You can find, by the way, if you want to hear that segue, just go to Regis Castus at Twitch TV,
and then ask
he
me
will,
about it.
and he will
Then
ask
you
you
can-
about it after the show.
Come to my channel, follow me, and then ask me that question, and then promptly unfollow me when I trigger you, because I probably will.
Angry animatronic man spouts about Cyberpunk, and then
3.5-inch disc.
What?
Yeah, that was from back in the day.
it was on floppy.
I almost misread it.
Yeah, I did misread it. I did misread that.
Oh, God.
So then, moving to the next one that they showed on, was a game called Islands, even though it's got a Y. Where it's like a survival game where you wind up on a desert island and you do stuff.
Islands, man. Yasue. Yasue, man. The islands.
Yeah.
Hey,
Quite fun.
Kiki. How's it going?
Yeah.
What's up?
Bro,
What?
it's fun.
Just quickly,
I'm a tree.
Tree bro. What up?
wait, there's a game I don't know of much of
So
because I can't
confused.
remember it. It's a game called Griffland,
Critical Role.
which I believe it was a side scroller shooter. I can't remember because it's like a lot of this just went through. Lone Echo and Echo Arena came up next as well. Echo Arena is wait for it, James. Yeah. It's an arena VR game where you it's float around with zero gravity and play with almost like throwing a ball into a net.
So it's
yeah.
a game designed to make people throw up.
Pretty much. And then our friend Cliff Blazinski came on stage and talked about
jeez.
Lawbreakers and the beta date for it and when it was coming out. And then he came up with he talked about something I agree with, but because the game I don't like, it's like, yeah, whatever. They're charging $30 for Lawbreakers brand new because he says it is bullshit that you have to pay $60 for a game that is just online.
Hey, that's a stance to make.
So yeah, that's fair enough. Quite like the sentiment. It's just pity the game is just no, thank you.
It's okay. I'd say it's a $15 game.
Yeah, so you still say a little bit too much. Because there was another game that I can't remember of, Wargroove. And then they came out for the penultimate game, Shadow of War.
The other.
So we can still make money off of Middle Earth.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's my only thing about that. I acquired through a friend my copy of Shadow of Mordor, and I actually, I don't mind. I don't mind Bam Ham combat, and I actually rather enjoyed it. And whilst at the end of the game, I sat there and went, "Is this really how the plot's going to go right now?" Honestly, despite the practical raping of the actual lore of Lord of the Rings, I'm interested and potentially excited because it looked like it was fun, more of the same that made the game good, but at the same time, new content, new things you could do in it with enough of that to make it potentially worth buying. So
I like the fact you can take control of the orcs.
Well, I mean, you could
have them
do
fight
that.
in an army for you.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. It's like you could do that in the old one, but it was just, okay, you've controlled orcs, and the more and more you control, the more likely that when you go to a fort, there will be some that are controlled by you, but you've like planted as sleeper agents, and then you just push a button and they turn to your side. But this whole, like, you're raising an actual army with actual generals that you can sit there and tell them, okay, this is what I want you to do while I do the, like, whatever I'm going to do. And that they do that and have personality and character, even though that one orc they kept showing talked a little too much. I felt like, I felt like they were going in an interesting direction with it. So I don't know if might be worth it. We'll just have to keep an eye on it, I guess.
Yeah, because it was October. It's coming out now. Yeah,
that was like, but that's what like it shocked me so much about this E3. So many games that it's like September or August or October this year are coming out, and it's like I feel like fall. I'm gonna fucking bankrupt myself because there's so many games that are coming out that I'm actually interested in, and I'm like, so much is coming out in such a short span of time, and we didn't know any of those release dates until this past week, and it's overwhelming in some cases.
Apart from all the like the deluge of stuff that said, 2018. It's like, okay, 2018.
Yeah. Eventually, like I felt like as time went on, we started seeing more, 2018, early 2017, and then 2018, and then some like fucking Metroid 4. It's like great they announced it, but it literally just said in production.
Yeah, just one bit.
And the thing is, I feel like they had to do that because I people were not happy about Federation Force last year, and I feel like they kind of had to just even if they haven't fucking even started anything, even if it was just a conceptualized state, I think they had to just to make sure that there was no literal like ape shit flip out, that there was no announcement this year again.
Yeah.
Because you had Stargrave wasn't announced either by Bethesda.
Which one is Stargrave?
That's their sci-fi version of Skyrim. The whole rumor is that Stargrave is it's supposed to be like an open world version of Skyrim that's in space where you can go from different, and you have hub worlds and you can travel from world to world. It's basically supposed to be what No Man's Sky was supposed to be. And the whole rumor is, and this is once again a unjustified, unknown rumor leaked from somebody on the internet, saying that it's supposed to tie Fallout and Skyrim together. So it's supposed to go Fallout, Stargrave, and then Skyrim. That's
wait. When was the Stargrave rumor?
They were talking about a pre-Bethesda stream on Twitch.
Okay.
I didn't catch
that. They ran a poll asking if Bethesda would talk about it, and it was 50-50 yes or no.
No, I mean when did it start? When did the Stargrave rumors start?
They were talking about it. They said I think it was leaked on one of the things that a Bethesda person who went nameless talked about it, and they're saying like that is kind of like what they're thinking is they're starting to try and tie all the universes together.
See.
Because what Stargrave could have been, depending on how old the actual thing is that it could have been Prey.
No, it was...
It depends on how old the rumor is.
Starfield.
if
Sorry,
people
it was Starfield.
Okay, because Stargrave sounds like it could have been Prey.
No,
Starfield does not sound like that.
it's an open world procedurally generated space game, and it's being done by ZeniMax inside Bethesda. Starfield.
Other way around, Bethesda
Yeah.
inside ZeniMax.
So you say something like that, where they're like trying to link their franchises together, and I feel like Blizzard's trying to do that, maybe. Like, and that like bothers me a little bit just inside.
I'm okay
because...
with Blizzard doing that with StarCraft and Warcraft.
No.
But it's gonna be because here's the thing with StarCraft and Warcraft, I could see the humans overtaking the world, and like all the rest of the races getting wiped out for some reason, and like
The only
a
universe that
long-ass
can do
exodus
that is Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
well, no, because aren't the orcs the same orcs?
Yeah, but there's no connection that says that there's no actual like lore that states that they're the same universe.
Oh,
Sigmar is not the Emperor, which would be the closest thing that you would have.
Sigmar isn't even Sigmar anymore.
Yeah, right. Don't talk.
Well, I mean, like as far as the races go,
Well, no, literally, it's the orcs, and that's it. And I mean, you
Yeah.
could argue that the elves are Eldar, which I mean, space the Eldar were always kind of seen as space elves. So,
because the way that I could see they could be doing the same thing with 40K with Warcraft.
Well, that's what
And
I'm
they
thinking. It's like Warcraft's just a planet in the StarCraft universe,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
please don't.
And like the humans overtook, and then the trolls are the fucking other thing that I can't remember the name of. That are what are they called?
I have no idea what you're talking.
Need more pylons. What are they?
Zealots.
those?
Protoss?
Yeah.
You're trying to say the trolls became the Protoss because I'm going to stop you
skeletal
right
structure.
Because
Because I'm going to stop you right there, Sonny. I'm going to stop you right there, Sonny. There is no link between the Warcraft universe, the Warcraft planet, being like the origination of anything in StarCraft.
I like to prefer. Here's my theory on it. Really, is that they know it exists and don't want to touch it because it's gross.
how do you go from Tazdingo man to you require more Vespian gas?
Vespine gas.
Vespian
Also,
gas.
the
Yeah.
Protoss were made the way they are. They
Yeah.
were not another race and then uplifted. They
No.
might have been another race and uplifted, but it wasn't the trolls. The Zerg were another race and they were uplifted, but they were nothing from Warcraft.
No, the Zerg were Zerg,
Yes.
and one they didn't really get uplifted per se. One got severely punished.
Yeah. And that spread
And it was accidentally an uplift. They were like, you need to now know the pain of all the things under you. And it's like, I just control them. You guys done fucked up.
Yeah, see, no, that's what Blau just said. All of Blizzard universes are Cthulhu monsters. That's what made me when Hearthstone all of a sudden had that fucking Catan event, and like all of the new cards that came out looked like they were just infested versions of the old cards. I just kind of sat there and I'm like, please don't try and say that you're trying to like have some type of link between these two games. Like no, don't do this. Don't just keep them separate franchises, please. They have no business intermingling with each other.
Unless
Please,
it's Heroes of the
Blizzard,
Storm.
stop. Well, yeah, but Heroes of the Storm is like crazy interdimensional vector that brings everybody together, but only people from Blizzard franchises.
Actually, I could see
How does
I could see
Overwatch fit into
Overwatch
this?
being in the same. I could see Overwatch and StarCraft being in the same universe, but it's such a far away time period that it's.
You know what's been happening on Earth
negligible.
in StarCraft?
Well, what little we know is from the UED and Brood War. That's about it. Although that was funny that they never really like they beat the UED, they went back to Earth, and we haven't even like mentioned Earth with regards to like the Terran at all since. But the UED's just like, oh, no, yeah, that happened. It's like, well, yeah, what is happening back at Earth now that fucking de Gaulle shot himself and there's like nobody that fucking survived, I think, or very few people survived to go back to Earth. It's like, what the fuck is even happening on that end of the galaxy or whatever system that the fucking StarCraft universe is set in? I don't fucking know.
I could say what else is happening on Earth, though. That's Age of Empires, the 20th anniversary.
That's exactly what I sat down for, actually. I remembered now. I fucking sat down at my computer, like, I got out of work. I'm like, okay, let's catch the end of the PC. And I just sit there and I'm seeing it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, no. And then they fucking popped it up, and immediately, like, the entire Twitch chat just went, and it was glorious.
Is it going to be the same like graphics?
No, it's literally they're taking Age of Empires and redoing the graphics and re-releasing it.
Okay.
It's
'Cause I would like it to be like Age of Empires in 4K, and it's just the same graphics, the original graphics. Because
not quite. They are redoing the graphics. They're making it so you can zoom out further and whatnot. And I'm sure that there's other.
Age of Empires
edition.
now with zoom.
that was one of the selling points of StarCraft remasters. Is like, you can zoom out more. You can see more of the action.
We already talked about this. Do you want to play remastered StarCraft? Mod Skyrim.
Yes. No, fuck you. I want pretty original StarCraft. Thank you. I don't need Skyrim for that.
You do realize that's going to be the title of this week's show, don't you?
Mod Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim.
Want to watch a game show? Watch
Mod
Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim. It's not E3 recap. It's like, you want to have an E3 recap? Mod Skyrim.
Yeah.
Age of Zoompires.
So that was the PC gaming show. Next, I'm sort of torn here. I'm going to go with Sony next.
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly what they did. Oh, they started off with Monster Hunter, right?
Yeah, they have Monster Hunter.
Oh my god, that was so fucking.
They basically had like a quick sort of blast of games, like the more of Uncharted Lost Legacy, the DLC Horizon Zero Dawn, which it's more Zero Dawn. Fuck, you know.
I don't care.
And then they played some Days Gone.
Yeah, that presentation was definitely better than last year's.
Where was Last of Us?
I don't know. I don't care.
I think they're waiting because they don't have enough of it to show anything concrete yet. I think they're waiting for PSX to show more, and that's when they'll have the release date. Because that's what Shuhei Yoshida said afterwards. There was a lot of stuff that they didn't show because they're waiting to show it at PSX in December in Anaheim. Which is like, well, why were you even at E3? And why are you even considering going to Gamescom if you're going to be holding back till then? It just makes no sense. But then Monster Hunter, they did show.
They showed, and it looks great, despite what my insistent viewer is saying.
My mind's telling me no.
But my body is telling me yes.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little monster grind. Wait, hang on. Sound right. Then the curious, they showed the remaster of Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah, that fucking hyped a lot of people.
Yeah, that's gonna be like, I looked at it and went like, okay, like we're actually getting a Shadow of the Colossus that's remastered, and I also wanted to look at it and be like, so why couldn't you do this for The Last Guardian? Why couldn't you make that game look like this?
Are they going to do like
they're going to have to remaster that in the future and then make you pay for it again.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. Very probably. I mean, do I get it this time? Do I try and finish it this time rather than it sits on repeating the PS3 pile and just doesn't do anything except gather dust. I don't know. But next, I'm going to row through these ones a bit more. They showed more Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were making that again.
Yeah, they showed that at PSX last year.
Why? They added a story mode to it. That game does not need a story mode.
I'm fine with it. I don't even like fighting games, but if it has a story mode, that interests me a little bit more, at least.
Did you watch the trailer for it? It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Only in anime.
I didn't say the story mode had to be good.
Yeah, truth.
Yeah, it just needs to give them a reason to kick the shit out of each other.
Big bad dude has taken over, and we must fight to save the world.
When it comes to fighting games, it's either I can play it for a story mode, whether it's good or bad, or I can go play online and get my ass handed to me because I'm never going to be as good as the people who have been playing these kind of games for the past 20 years.
With their fighting sticks.
Yeah.
It's I don't know whether I'd get it. It was rare that I've actually bought Tekken 7. Otherwise, it's a fine game. Then more of Call of Duty.
I do enjoy the meme picture from Call of Duty. It's just like Battlefield 1. How do we make this better? And it shows like them all staring intensely at Call of Duty, and it says Call of Duty, and they just put like a sketch mark next to it. It's Call of Duty 2. They're like, oh, like World War 1. And they just put 1 and 2 together. I'm like, oh, idea.
I will say at the very least, I did prefer my Call of Duty games when they were in World War II. So maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna buy it like day fucking one, but I'll keep my eye on it at least. I'm tired of modern and future warfare. It's like just go back to what made you famous, please.
I'm just tired of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's just like James, you might want a power nap for about 30 seconds to a couple of minutes on this.
All right. I'm looking for a meme, so go ahead.
Because you got Mod Skyrim in VR on PSVR, and then you had a game called Star Child in VR. The prequel to Until Dawn, the Impatient, where they give the backstory of what happened there in the first place.
Wait, Impatient was a prequel to Until Dawn?
Yep.
What?
Impatient. Yep.
I had no idea. I didn't even realize that.
Neither did I until I was told the other day. It's like, what, really?
Huh.
Wow. Then you sort of think about it.
It became a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
As I already looked at that and went, that's neat, different. I had no fucking idea that anything to do with Until Dawn.
Because it looks like it tells the story of what actually happened in the hospital.
Right, yeah, like in the insane asylum while they were testing all that bullshit on people or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, the actual change and the cannibalism stuff just went out there. For you Final Fantasy 15 fans, you can play Monsters of the Deep, which is like a fishing game in VR.
Yeah. That was like that and Call of Duty were like the two things where I actually sat there and went. Well, the Call of Duty, like I said, I was like, okay, whatever. But when I saw that, I was actually like.
It's just like,
what?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy fans are not going to want to play a fishing game. And people who like fishing games are not going to want to play a fishing game as weird-looking fucking Asian dudes. They're not going to want to play these. Nobody... Who is this game for? I don't know what demographic this game could possibly convey to.
See, I originally thought they were doing Final Fantasy 15, like the VR mode, where you could actually play in like moments in VR, and it's just not a game of fishing, which just makes no sense. But then again, it's Japan, so some stuff
that is true. That is true. It is Japan. It is 100% Japan. So there's no real expectation of getting any reasonable answer for that.
Then they did a first-person shooter called Bravo Team. It looked promising, I guess. Didn't see much of it.
I remember that actually. Yeah, that was that like it could be interesting.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then Moss, which I can't remember for the fucking life of me what it's about. These are one of these ones I'm gonna have to go through again and look at on
I
YouTube.
feel like
and go,
I feel like I remember the title, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what the fuck it was about.
And there's the problem.
Yeah,
If we can't remember the games, then they weren't that memorable to us.
yeah.
So there's an issue right there. But that's all the VR stuff. So James, you can wake up now, mate.
You don't need to take a nap.
You don't need to have a nap. Then they showed more God of War.
Which, again, it was another game they showed last year that I feel they presented much better this year compared to how they did it the year before. I've never played a God of War game, actually. It just never happened in my childhood. I was somewhat interested last year. There's a good chance I might buy that on release.
I probably will. I loved the other Gods of War. Really did. It was the one they did. What's the name of it? I'm trying to remember the name of it. It wasn't part of the trilogy. It was the one they did after the last one they did for the PS3. I remember looking at it and playing at EGX and thinking how absolutely stunning they had this. This game was fucking beautiful. And it sort of pushed the PS3 to its very limits. How like, graphically it could be, and it's just like, fuck. I think it was God of War Ascension.
Maybe.
That sounds about right on that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to God of War. See just how angry they've kept Kratos.
It does seem like being a dad has tempered him a little bit, but I feel like it's like, okay, son, just put aside, and then just suddenly fucking rage come back to him.
He gets full Hulk.
Is it bad that I look at like the new God of War and I feel like I've played this already with Horizon Zero Dawn?
I don't know, because I didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn because I saw some things about that game that made me go, oh no.
It depends how open world it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Also,
but it does have that feel of it.
Critical Role has broken me because every single time I see Kratos get angry, all I can hear is Travis Willingham going, "I would like to rage.
I 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 would like to rage. I would like to rage.
Excuse.
Attacking with a reckless attack.
And just frantic rolling of d20s that ensues.
And he always does like a structured pose too, like a.
And then we saw more Gran Turismo Sport. Okay, yeah, wait.
Left. Sports.
It might be good. Might be good for me.
By the way, everybody, if you donate enough money, I will get a soundboard that we will have a sports button on. So whenever we have to talk on, I can just spread the button, sports, and get a little doggo to say it too. Maybe perhaps a meme or a GIF of a certain corgi that we know.
Comes back on that app. Becomes sports. They showed more. So they showed more Detroit. Another, it wasn't playable demo, but it was another trailer of yet another potential story in there, and it's okay.
Why don't they just show it as like real Detroit, which is like Escape from LA or New York? It's like real Detroit.
Like, I don't know what to think of it. Like, I feel like it's an interesting concept. It's another, good kind of open moral choice game, which I'm all for. But every time I see it, I'm just like,
I feel like it's a tech demo. It's just your glorified tech demo. That's what you are, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
The game.
I think
not the city.
I think what bothered there was like one part of it specifically that bothered me too was because the whole thing they're pushing is like, okay, this is the android like revolt that are gaining sentience and they realize that they shouldn't be treated like machines. Okay. They fucking like show the guy getting converted by the other end, or just touching on. I'm like, is that it? Like that seems less like we're going to educate these androids to make them understand, and more like I'm uploading a software to brainwash you to see the world my way.
Yeah.
Like that was the vibe that I got off of that, and I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, is that supposed to be the plot twist? Because
It's
that
just
feels
a
like
virus?
it could be the plot twist. That it's just a fucking like virus that someone uploaded onto an Android and has made it gone rogue, and now it's spreading it around, trying to
It's
cause
Blade
like
Runner.
a violent uprising.
Blade Runner.
It's Virus 2.0 of Religious Cult uploaded.
Okay.
If you want to see it done
Okay.
better and cyberpunk, watch Blade Runner.
Mod Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim. That's gonna
Okay,
be the new
that's-
thing. Mod Skyrim.
Fuck yeah.
There was more Destiny 2 show.
Yeah. Okay.
I
With
already talked
exclusive
about it,
stuff
so
on the
we can-
PlayStation. And the final bit in the main press art, they showed a lot of Spider-Man, which seemed a lot of QTEs in there.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I don't even like Spider-Man. I'm not a DC, Marvel, or anything like comic book hero. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Game looked fun. I could live with QTEs if it's not literally the entirety of the game. Like it I don't know. I mean,
with the minor exception of Telltale games.
Oh yeah, obviously. But Telltale games live and die on their writing, which for the most part it is pretty fucking good. It's another one of those things where you have to be interested in the subject matter. Like I don't care about The Walking Dead, and I could not play that game. I was bored out of my mind. Despite the fact that everybody that I know is like a diehard fan of it and loves it, but it's like I'm not interested. But The Wolf Among Us, I had no idea it was even based on the comic. I just heard fucking modern, like fantasy characters in like a real setting, and I was like, that sounds moderately interesting. And then I was hooked
I didn't
on
know
it.
it was a comic either.
Yeah. And after that, I was like, holy shit, this is something that's like a comic that somebody writes. It's like, motherfucker, that's actually. Holy shit. And I loved it.
And the Fable stories are completely different to the game story. They changed things around for the Wolf
Oh,
Among
yeah.
Us.
Oh, between the comic. Yeah, there are different things in it so that it's not like, it was the same with the Walking Dead game, wasn't it? There were some things that were different between the comics so that it wasn't, you didn't know what was going to happen just because of, you read the fucking comic. They changed some things up.
I'd like to announce that it's that time of the year, the old fashioned game of gunshots or fireworks. So it's a wild quiz game. May or may not end in pain and suffering. So I'm hoping it's fireworks because it's nearing that time of the year too. So just like to announce that.
Another point actually didn't during the Xbox conference when they were talking about Destiny, weren't they like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 4K full resolution, like all like big things, and now it's like, yeah, on the Xbox, Destiny will be capped at 30 frames. It's like, weren't you saying that it wasn't going to be that like 3 days ago? Maybe did you perhaps mistakenly given out that information on false pretenses, or did you maybe just accidentally think that the 3 was the 6? What was that all about, Microsoft? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just a little fishy. Just a little fishy.
very. But Spider-Man itself, let's do.
Yes. The Spider-Man game, I would like to see more of it, but it looks like it could be fun.
If it's as good as the PS2 game of Spider-Man, then yeah, it will be.
The one thing that we noticed when I was watching with my friends, that we were all sitting there because some of the old Spider-Mans did it. At the very least, it looks like he's actually latching on to buildings and not just firing a web up into the fucking sky and latching onto nothing. At the very least, it looks like he's actually like web slinging from buildings. Which
that's
a
pretty
plus.
much.
That's a very good thing.
They said that, they confirmed that yes, he is he's firing the webs onto the buildings to swing from.
Yes. That's all you need to do to make that game because if you don't do that, then there's problems.
Immersion broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and just briefly, during the pre-show of Sony, they also announced Tropico 6 and Knack
Did they?
2. Yep.
Oh man,
Knack.
I don't even know what the fuck Knack is. What the fuck is Knack?
It's the greatest game ever to live. It's the
Apparently.
Shrek of video games. Knack.
Knack. Oh Jesus.
No, 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 no.
What happened after what was after Sony? Because I'm losing track of what was what.
We have 3 more left. Microsoft, Nintendo Direct, and then Ubisoft is my opinion on that one. So they started off the Xbox with showing the Xbox One X and the price of it, which is $499, which Jeff Keighley during the day leaked out. He's like, you dick. You couldn't have waited and let them do it, could you? You had to be the dick that you are and do that. So it's 440.
Jeff Keighley.
So it's £449 over in the UK, which is dearer than both the Xbox One that originally came out and the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I mean, they keep saying they're pushing it towards a premium product for people rather than it's going to be there for the hardcore gamers. Is like
Right.
So what you mean is you're trying to justify it being expensive compared to other consoles. That's how you're dressing it up. So it's like looks really nice. It's the smallest one they've done so far.
Mm-hmm.
Which, fair enough. You don't want it to look like a VCR or weigh like a fucking brick. But November 7th, it's worldwide release as well. So that's a bonus. It is native 4K a lot of the time.
A lot of the time, yeah.
A lot of the time. Because there's some games that might not be native.
Hey, you want native 4K? Mod Skyrim.
Mod Skyrim. But the games they showed, let's go through them because there's a lot. I'm going to quickly run through Forza 7, the day effects, weather effects, blah, blah, just Project Cars 2, which...
Pretty car game. Done. Next.
Metro Exodus.
Oh, my heart.
Yes,
Yeah.
Metro. Good. Read the books. Better.
Sure, but I'm too lazy to read. Next.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Nobody cares. We was kings.
$800 pre-order.
$800 pre-order. And that's
Sliding
not a
down
joke.
pyramids.
That's not a joke.
Not joke.
That's not a joke. There is an $800 pre-order for that game for some fucking reason. I don't know. It looked like... I don't know. I don't care about Assassin's Creed. I never liked the game series. Maybe it's going in an interesting direction, but I don't think many people are interested in the enemies now have levels. And, no.
It's not
They are going to have to do
interesting
something.
direction.
They are going to have to do something to pull it back from Syndicate because Syndicate was quite dull.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as great as other ones in the past. But yeah, so Origins coming out later this year. Boom, nice. More
I
Battlegrounds.
actually really liked Syndicate.
Yeah.
I liked it better than any of the other ones
You're a
out
bad
of all of them.
person, and you should leave.
Well, I mean, I also didn't take it I played it as just a thing to play. I played it super casually, so I didn't have any extra I wasn't in it for the story. I was in it to be a person in fucking London beating the shit out of people as a mobster. I didn't play it as an assassin's game.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I have to find something now.
But it did have Cockbridge on it.
Did have what?
They have
Cockbridge.
Cockbridge.
What?
Now, basically, right.
They
Westminster
did
Bridge.
actually.
Yep, they had it on there. Westminster Bridge next to the Houses of the Parliament. When you're going along there, when you're walking along there, there's little bits on the side which are kind of that way. Now, if you have the sun coming through the shadow, it looks like a cock and balls.
Oh, and I've seen pictures of that, actually.
Cock Bridge. And as I said at the time in a previous episode of the podcast, it's great handy because it goes through a building full of cocks. So then moving on, we had Battlegrounds, which is coming out later this year on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
you
cool.
know what? I laughed because they were like, "Yeah, we're doing it. We're going cross-platform," and I'm like, "You're making it cross-platform with PC." Okay, I can't wait to play this game and watch people who cannot aim as efficiently as I can, and will be easier kills. Thank you.
I've tried using a mouse and keyboard to kill on that thing. I just can't. It's just, I have trouble with it.
Ugh.
I'm still not used to using a mouse and keyboard to shoot. I'm more used to a bloody controller. Leave me alone. Then you got another game called Deep Rock Galactic.
Was that the mining one? It looked like a what was it, 4 or 6 players or something like that?
Possibly.
Like mining underground, and there were fucking like bugs in the caves and shit.
Yes, that's what that was. Yes.
I looked neat.
Then they showed State of Decay 2.
The State of Decay 1 was something.
Yeah. Then they showed a game called The Darwin Project.
Which one was that again?
I can't see. It was at this point where it was like things started going, just blending through. It's just all names rather than actual gameplay. I say with a lot of this, I couldn't remember, and that showed a problem. Where if you can't remember them, then there's a big problem with it.
I'm looking at the pictures. I'm trying to remember. Was that? It was another like survival but PUBG kind of game, but it was like people had superpower or like abilities and whatnot. Was that it?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
That's what the Darwin Project's bringing up for me. I don't remember if it was that. I don't know. Darwin Project E3. E3. I'm just gonna look at the video of it.
Cool. And then they had the Minecraft bits, which we already talked about earlier in the show. Then they had Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is Dragon Ball Z as a fighter.
Yeah. Also, yeah, this is the Darwin Project. Is that what I was thinking of? It was that it was that like not team, but it was a fast paced. It was like this neat little trailer, and all of a sudden it picks up, and they have the fucking like shoutcaster come on, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening? Oh no, God, what is this? We don't need another one of these games. Please stop."
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, that one where the guy in the yellow shirt just.
It's like,
see, that's why it was.
Yeah, no, because it literally like they revealed it. It's like this is PUBG meets Overwatch. It's a battle royale game meets Overwatch heroes with abilities. Why is this a genre now?
Then they did an MMO called Black Desert.
Oh yeah, they brought that over. Which again, Black Desert, in my opinion, was.
Yeah, and then they also showed The Last Night, that's where we first got a glimpse of it, and that's where.
That's where they showed The Last Night. Okay, yes. Yeah,
and apparently the developer said something that he shouldn't have, and he apologized for on the PC gaming show, and I'm like, what?
So to give the very quick rundown, at least from what I understand, in the past and up to the present future, I guess he was at bare minimum neutral but supporting, and at some cases very pro Gamergate, which, depending on who you are and who you listen to, are one of two completely different things. And because of that, all of a sudden the snowflakes on Twitter decided that they had to scream and shout that how dare they give somebody who has this personal political ideology be on E3. And then his publishing company pretty much made him apologize, even though he technically didn't. He expressed an opinion on the internet, and that's against the rules nowadays, apparently. So I don't fucking know.
All right, so that was the call from people saying the game's like slightly has misogynistic overtones. Because I was like,
where did that come up? He basically, I think the only thing that he said in regards to what the game, like the thematic of the game, is that it is a future in which like political correctness won, and like basically like a very socialist, very borderline communist government kind of system took into control. And he kind of references social justice, third wave feminism in his explanation for it, and just social justice in general as kind of an influence as to what he based this fantasy theoretical future on that has no basis in reality. And because there are people that take the internet and their opinions too seriously, that
with a traditional plan, you pay
attacked for his own personal political views, and they forced him to apologize, essentially. Like, I remember seeing the people who published him, they issued their own statement. They were like, "Oh yeah, well, if we had known that he had said these things, we would have never supported him." It's like, oh my fucking god, just fucking drop it. His ideology, his personal beliefs do not have any part of this project, and it just doesn't make sense to drag someone through the mud over something like that. It has the game. You should be able to separate your opinion of a developer and the game itself. Like, if the game's good and it's made by fucking Zoe Quinn, whatever, I'll play it and I'll like it, even though I don't like her as an individual. But I don't know. It's a great line to tread because I can't say things that might offend.
I'll further that if it's like, if someone has a very strong political opinion and they force it into their game,
right?
Sometimes it's very obvious, and it doesn't work. And I'll say, and it doesn't work because there's definitely something ideological about Overwatch's cast and crew, but they made it beautiful without needing it to be revolving around that.
Right.
So that's an example of it working perfectly.
It's like the examples where people shoehorn a character in for no reason other than to promote diversity and to sit there and go, look, we have this character. This character is whatever flavor of the month minority that you want to appeal to. And it's
when they apologize for villains. I hate that. I hate that. You're supposed to hate the villain. Of course you're going to hate the villain. They're evil.
They're bad people. They're bad people for a reason.
The point is that they're not supposed to be relatable. You can't have him kill children. That's evil. He's a villain.
He is evil.
Must be evil.
That is the point.
Let me write you the rules of being a villain. Number 1, don't be good. Number 2, don't like him. Number 3, kill it. I don't know what it is, but kill it. Number 4, maybe a Nazi.
Maybe a Nazi.
Number 5, free T-shirts. Oh wait, no, that makes you like.
Number 5, free T-shirts for other Nazis. For other
now that you're saying that, I'm thinking that's the same thing would happen with Far Cry, isn't it? Except for like the other side of the aisle, like there are fucking far alt-righters that are sitting there going, Far Cry, the new Far Cry is clearly an anti-American game promoting the genocide of white people. And it's like,
now you get a chance to kill nut job Cole.
Or okay, hold on. I love it. I love it when people. We're going to the political tangents, and I love it. But I love it when people get pissed off when you're playing the fucking bad guy, and you're like, oh well, look at that. He clearly hates women for this and this and this. No, he's evil. I hope you got the memo here. He's not a good guy.
He is a bad person. He does not do good things.
This part's not new. Yes, you're supposed to terrorize the city. That's what this is.
And you're supposed to stop him.
In GTA, you're
stop
supposed
evil.
to gun down policemen and innocent people.
That doesn't.
You're an evil person. You're not a good guy. You're literally a criminal. That's your goal, is to be the best criminal.
So the other bits, because I'm going to quickly shift on.
Now that I'm done with my tangent about evil characters not being allowed to be evil.
Yeah. They should be evil. There we go.
Yes. Evil be evil.
But the rest of the games, I mean, they're mostly low. They went indie, for a bit, which is better than, well, different to Sony, because Sony seemed to just skirt over them this year. I mean, things like The Artful Escape was like a rhythm platformer, which was like, okay, fair enough.
Then that was weird. Yeah, I didn't really know what to make of that. I was confused.
It almost felt like a Rayman music level they've just tried to make into a game.
Sort of, I guess. Yeah, in a way that's a pretty apt description of it, honestly. But I don't know. I looked at it and I'm like, I don't. Again, it was like one of those things where it was like, what is the audience for this game? Because I, for the life of me, can't imagine like who wants to play something like this. But there's got to be somebody. So
yeah. So
whatever.
But yeah, so then they rattled through a load of them. Games like Code Vein, showed more Sea of Thieves, Tacoma, then a sort of kids game like Super Lucky's Tale, it was called.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, good game. There you go. That's what it was. Yeah, I was really confused when I was watching. I was like, what is this? And like by the end of it, that. I guess, yeah, kids have to get games too. I can't expect them to pander only to me.
But they should.
They should.
But they did finally gave us a release date for Cuphead. Fucking yes. Yeah. September 29.
When it was coming on, me and my friends were all just sitting there like, I swear to God, this game is never coming out. If they don't fucking put a release date on it for it this time, this game is never coming. And then they did, and I was like, "Oh, fucking finally!"
Yes. I don't know. They showed more. They showed more Crackdown 3, which is Well,
all I cared about was Terry Crews was yelling things and being Terry Crews, and so I was hype and interested.
Which is Terry Crews, he's awesome. And then it was like the ID Xbox just came out, and the show reel began of the games such as Osiris New Dawn, Raiders of the Broken Planet, Unruly Heroes, Path of Exile.
Which I thought, that's really weird to see it. I mean, I guess Diablo 3 did it, but it's still, it baffles me that a game like Path of Exile, which in general, that genre is something I can't fathom playing on a console. But Path of Exile is a very fast game. Like, for what it is, that game, when I am playing it on my computer, I am clicking frantically. And I look at the controller and I'm like, how are you supposed to... I can only imagine they're going to have to slow it down for console players somehow. I don't know. They're gonna change it over into the same format as Diablo 3, because Diablo 3 is also for console. Well, yeah, I don't even know what they did, but I saw it and I was like, why? Question mark. But
they may have seen the market for it and wanted more money.
It's possible.
So then they continued on with Battle Right, Surviving Mars, Fable Fortune, which that looks more like a card game to me than anything else. I could be wrong.
Fable Fortune is a card game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was right.
It's also probably going to bomb miserably.
Probably.
Very. Probably.
Yes. Card games are not terribly interesting usually.
Even though things like Hearthstone seem to be very, very popular on Twitch.
Hearthstone is like Hearthstone, and then that like the online like free Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh card games. Like the only things I can think of. I'm assuming Gwent, the Witcher card game, is going to be good, or like if it's out, if people are playing it, I'm assuming that's popular because one, The Witcher was insanely popular, and people liked the card game in it. And now that they can just play the card game, I'm going to bet good money that it's going to sell very well and that they're going to make a good amount of money on it. But I can't even think of any others besides that, whatever that one you told me earlier that you said was popular, the one that we were talking about earlier today.
Yeah, Shadowverse, I believe it was. Or was it? Shadowverse expansion. Yeah, they did bit for. So yeah, so there must be a following. I mean, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
You know, there's one of the other bigger ones. So but isn't it a game called Observer?
What is it? Observer.
Observer, which I think that was almost like a walking game.
Yeah, it probably is.
If I remember that correctly. Then a game called Robocraft Infinity, Dunk Lords, Minion Masters Forced to Duel. They show Brawl Out, which is, it's a Smash Brothers clone. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Oblets, again, they showed more of. Dark Light, Strange Brigade, River Bond, a game that Hergelman knows very well, Hello Neighbor. Shift, showed Conan Exiles is coming to Xbox. And then a game called Ashen. And that,
Ashen. What was that one again? The name is sticking out, but I can't put a picture to it.
Yeah, same here. Again, it's one of those bits where it was just they just bombarded, and it's just
right. Yeah, it was like at the end of the conference when they were just throwing things at you.
Yeah, but they did show up something really good on there because they showed more Shadow of War,
right?
And it was Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is the 3 episodes of the bit before Max returns.
Right,
Rachel, and it's like, oh, there's potential. This is more very story driven rather than the time traveling powers, because how would they fit this in? So I'm looking forward to that. The first one comes out in August 31st. And then they showed a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, and it's Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Oh God, that's right. Yeah. And that's the funny thing too, is I literally just finished, like maybe last week, I finished streaming and playing that game, and now they're coming up with the sequel. And I'm actually like, woo!
Game is so good.
It is. The music is just, to die for. And the art is gorgeous, and it plays so good. I'm like, why did I wait? Why did I sit here and this game has been on my Steam list for at least a year and a half? Why did I just leave it there?
It took me a while to stream it as well. It took me a long time, and I'm actually finally glad I did, because it's such a beautiful, nice game. They then showed Anthem, a teaser for Anthem, which people were saying is like a Destiny clone.
Literally, I sat there, all of us that were watching it sat there, and we were like, this looks like what Destiny should have been. Because it looked like a better Destiny.
It looks like what the Division should have been.
Maybe. Yeah, that might be a better... nobody mentioned the Division, but yeah, I think that might be a more apt...
Nobody mentions the Division anymore.
But
we don't talk about the game.
We tried to pretend it never existed.
The part that we're worried about is the fact that it's being made by the people who made... Well, what the fuck's their name?
BioWare.
Was BioWare's the one who's making it?
BioWare's making it.
Yeah. That's what concerns me.
I'm Commander Shepard, and I approve this game.
Hey,
I'm Commander Shepard, and I'm on Skyrim.
It looks like it's a multiplayer version of Mass Effect Andromeda.
I don't even want to talk about Andromeda, but
But then again, this was the team that was taken away from Andromeda.
Yes.
To do it.
Is it, and also, is it just me with this trailer, or like, I get they're like trying to say, oh, it's multiplayer, you can play with your friends, but once again, gamers don't talk like that.
Yeah, no, it was another one of those instances of nobody talks like this.
You could have just like taken all that dialogue out and just played the game, and I would have been happy with it, and just been like, yay, show me. I'm interested. I'm mildly interested in that game.
Show me the pretty pictures.
Yeah, don't let me hear the forced dialogue of other people.
But no, it's BioWare is a company that, in my opinion, has failed me for several years with the quality of their product. So I'm hesitant. I will keep my eye on it. It looks like a very interesting. As long as they can keep it looking as good as it did in that, and there's nothing that's horribly shoehorned in or just bad gameplay or story mechanics. I don't know. We'll see.
Here's my question on it: is which BioWare team?
That is the truth. That is a very important question. Yeah.
Well,
because if it's Montreal, expect bad. Yeah, because if it's Montreal, expect bad. If it's the other teams, the Cali teams,
let me see.
You could expect pretty good.
Which ones did the Cali teams make?
I believe one. And the Dragon Age games.
Okay.
I don't remember what else. I think they also did 3, but if memory serves, 3's issues were mostly with the writing.
Yes, 3's issues were with the ending.
Yeah,
pretty much. I never played it, but after this game is shit because of the red, blue, green ending. After that died down, it became, the game was actually pretty good. It's just the ending kind of sucked.
How do you?
I literally just saw this miracle.
What was that?
I literally just saw this miracle. It's in chat.
Yeah.
Post it to me because I'm not in your chat. I don't know which stream is.
Yes. In Tigwhippy's chat.
Oh. Worthy raise hell.
They don't say which team is working on it. They just say BioWare.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Though, hang on.
What is this?
Drew Karpyshyn is the guy who's writing it.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who did writing work for Mass Effect. He wrote Mass Effect 1 and 2.
Okay, so I think we're in a safe bet for writing.
But he's based in Canada. So that leads me to maybe lean towards the Canadian team.
That may or may not be unfortunate. Do they have an Ontario team?
He's in Alberta. Edmonton.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this guy has written KOTOR 1, Mass Effect 2. He's written for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah, no, they're not the Montreal team. They have 3 teams: Austin, Montreal, and Edmonton.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what?
Not Cali, Austin. That's where I was thinking.
Oh, here we go. In personal life, in the late spring of 2009, he moved with his family to Austin, Texas. So this may be the Austin team. Since that's where he lives.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I first heard of BioWare, it was Neverwinter 1. And that's what got me playing their games. And Neverwinter Nights 2 wasn't made by them, I don't think. I think that was made by a different company.
I think that was Obsidian.
Yeah, it was Obsidian. That's right. Yep. But I remembered liking Mass Effect 1. I liked Dragon Age 1. And then I felt like after that, I mean, I didn't play Dragon Age 2. I played Mass Effect 2. I heard things about Dragon Age 2 that made me weary about it. BioWare just has a lot of, and I don't want to get back into the territory of political debate, but they have a lot of political stances and other things that they tend to shove into their games that I don't appreciate. It's just one of those things where I'm like, please make a game. Don't shove any kind of political statement that doesn't make sense at the very least. But they just do it.
See, I'm reasonably okay with some of it because I like being able to romance literally anything in my video game.
Oh no, I don't. It's not even the game.
Sometimes you just want to fuck an alien.
Sometimes
you want to fuck 5 of them.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sometimes you want to have sex with the space Nazi. Ashley,
Come
I'm
on.
looking at you.
Wait, who?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Dude, she was a
Sometimes you
racist. She was a literal racist.
Hey, when I'd say in that universe, humans are the best race too, but maybe I'm a little biased. I don't fucking know.
True, but she says humans are biased and like fuck all those other guys.
Yeah, that's fine. Human first.
I gotta say,
Yeah.
okay, all right, hold on. Who's everyone's BioWare waifu / husbando?
For God's sake, I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ, I haven't played.
Mine
I
is
haven't played
definitively Jack.
It was Jack.
Definitively Jack.
I went Jack rather than Miranda in Mass Effect 2.
I had a storyline in mind. Mine went with the racist, then killed her, then through his sorrow sought Miranda, and then broke up with her, and then just became an asshole to everyone. It just had
Mine is
indiscriminate
Jack or
sex
Tom?
with the yeoman and the news reporter, because by Mass Effect 3, the weight of the world had been
What?
like, yeah,
That was a thing.
you could have sex with the yeoman and the news reporter.
I punched the news reporter.
Yep, same here.
I always punch news
Still get
reporters.
this? Can you still get
That-
the sex after punching her?
No,
That's the question. Fuck.
Damn it.
Well, maybe she's into that. You don't know.
they're not that
that's exactly
realistic of Mass Effect game. Well, do you want to have sex with the news reporter after punching her? Mod Skyrim.
Okay, here's the thing I need to do. So while we were talking, I was looking at. Oh, that's not the right button at all. I was looking into BioWare, and I got a snippet, but I discovered this gem in their Ontario office. Just kind of looking around the office. This is a miracle that happened.
Where is
Let
it?
me do that. I gotta send it to you guys in Discord.
Plus,
So James, if you wanna post this up on the thing,
On the thing.
on the thing,
On the thing.
On the thing.
pictures.
On the Discord. Got it.
Yep.
From the Discord, on the Discord, to the Discord.
And as you're doing that, we shall wrap up the Microsoft bit. They already announced the backwards compatibility stuff for Xbox games, so fantastic. People like me who get like games that we didn't play on the Xbox, we get a chance to. Because time is moving on, and this has turned into a monster show. Because it's like almost 3:00 in the morning here. Gonna quickly move over like Nintendo and Ubisoft, because I thought Ubisoft was the best presser of them all.
I'm trying to
Sure.
remember what happened. So,
The biggest one of note was Beyond Good and Evil 2.
yeah, we were blown away by that. I never played Beyond Good and Evil, so I have no
haven't-
investment. But I've known that it's been a meme at this point for God knows how many years, and it's nice to see it over.
It's like I've got it on Xbox, but I have never played it. So it's one that I may stream later on down the line. They did also do things like it was Far Cry 5 to show more of Mario and
Yep.
Rabbids.
Yeah, and, that's Mario and Rabbids thing. That's what I was like worried about, and then I watched them play it. I was like, it's an XCOM game. It's an XCOM game. Oh,
But by the way,
Nope.
Tuck, you should take a look at our stream right now and see what I saw just perusing the offices.
what, the picture you linked from Discord?
Yeah.
Oh no, I saw it. Shows their professionalism, and work
The horse
integrity.
turn?
What the fuck?
Our intern, Charlie.
Yeah, that was.
I'm still trying to break him in.
And that was
Yeah,
pretty much Ubisoft.
the rabbits actually looked good.
Yes.
What else was there again? You said
South Park Fractured But Whole with a card game
Yeah.
coming up on mobile. Crew 2. Crew 2, yeah, you got boats and planes. Quite good. Just Dance, Assassin's Creed, Transference VR, which looked potentially interesting. And, you got Steep DLC from, like, the Winter Olympics.
I really wish I really liked Steep. I just wish I had friends to play it with. I wish I had friends that I knew would play it, and then I would buy it.
Yeah.
It was actually really fun.
It looked more like a boring version of SSX to me, and so I just went, you're probably never going to get another version of SSX thing. Yeah, because considering the last one was apparently a bag of shit. And that was pretty much Ubisoft, and then finally we had Nintendo. They showed Rocket League.
Yeah, that was actually a bit of a surprise, but I'm just gonna post this here. If you want to go deaf, because that's what happened when they revealed Metroid 4 as something they were working on. I am warning you. Volume.
It's very loud.
Yeah,
it's
I'm not gonna listen to that. But they showed, Nintendo's Direct was a typical Nintendo.
Yeah, it was short. They got to what they needed to get to. What was it? There was besides Metroid 4, there was the Breath of the Wild DLCs, which they showcased. The Master Edition.
Fire
is
Emblem.
going. Oh yeah, Fire.
Yeah, Fire Emblem, Super Mario Odyssey to show more of, so you can chuck your hat over things and control it.
Oh,
Kirby and Yoshi, same looking game, just slightly different.
Yeah, yeah. The Yoshi one, I was like, a new Yoshi game. Okay, that's fine. The Kirby game, I was like, because I can't help it. I'm a diehard fucking Kirby fan, and I can't really think of a terrible Kirby game. So I sat there and they showcased 4 CPU characters, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, does that mean 4-player co-op Kirby game? Like, if so, I'm fucking on board. Nintendo, I'm buying a Switch. You sons of bitches, you did it! That day, they sold me a Switch. I just need to, actually go out and buy it when I have the money.
And then they showed more stuff of Splatoon 2, FIFA coming to their ARMS, which is out already, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes compared to all the other ones, so either an hour or 2 hours, except for the Devolver Digital one, which was
15 minutes of pure chaos.
Yeah, 15 minutes of beauty.
So that was, again, there was just no wow factor. There was nothing hugely dead and memorable, which was, unfortunately,
I mean, the Metroid 4 thing is memorable, but there's just nothing to it other than it's finally happening.
Metroid Prime 4 in development. Boom. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay.
But it's like I was saying before, I really think they had to do that. People were not happy about Federation Force. And they had to save some face and make people realize that, no, we haven't abandoned this franchise. Please, calm down.
But it's okay. So we'll see what happens at Gamescom. See whether what conferences and that happen. Now, normally at this point, we would do what we were playing. But because this has been...
We'll tackle that next week.
Yeah, we'll do that next week, because next week, right, we'll mention next week now. Next week is a couple of things. It's actually 3 things, right? It's the first year anniversary of the Game Won't Play Itself podcast. We have gone a year, which is amazing. There's 2 birthdays as well happening.
On that day?
Yeah, on that day. 2 members of Tig Whippy share the same birthday.
Magic.
And that is James.
Yep.
And Gina. Gina the Short. You share birthdays. So we've decided, and this was James who brought the idea to us, and we went, yeah, all right, let's go. Saturday, June 24th. Are we going 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. your time?
Let's do 9. because
Do 9,
it's
yeah.
Saturday morning, and I don't want to have to get
fine.
up and broadcast like I'm going to be going to work.
That's fine. No, not a problem. So I will let them. I will let them know it's 2:00 starting. The people that are joining us. So yes, we're going to have a special show. It's probably not going to have any news in it. We're probably going to try and get guests that we've had from the past.
If you like us talking in tangents, this is going to be the show for you. The show is going to be a tangent.
Yeah, we are expecting this show to go long. Okay.
And be
But
goofy.
And be goofy because it's a celebration. We're just going to have a lot of fun with a lot of people.
It's 1
that we-
year, it's 2 birthdays, and it's episode 50.
Yeah.
Which means in a year of podcasting, we took 2 weeks off. Standard vacation time for most people.
P good.
Which is, it's just good. Can't complain it. We just, because it's two podcasts gone. I mean, even in one of those, we had one special. And that was the Cards Against Humanity. Which was fun. That was a lot of fun. We need to do that again with the community very soon. So yeah, so that's the plan.
More than happy to join that.
And now we have a lot of people to do it with too, which it can only go downhill fast, which is what we would expect.
Yeah, but what do you expect? It's just humanities.
What was that I sent you earlier on Facebook, James? It was a line in there. Where was it? Because what was the line?
Oh yeah, you sent me a load of quotes, didn't you?
Yeah, the bit from there was there's a debate in the Vatican about blowjob Jesus.
What?
Because
That's a quote.
blowjob Jesus. There
Sure.
is a card in Cards Against Humanity that's called blowjob Jesus. And I said we missed a trick because we didn't say it was a debate that was a mass. Oh wait.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
I was at
you got
work
it. I
when
know
you sent
got
it to me too.
Did I have to make you stifle and go? Probably
Just
not,
sitting
but-
there shaking my head.
So yeah, so next week, Saturday, 2 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. Eastern. It's the year anniversary. It's episode 50 of the Game Won't Play Itself. Join us. We're going to have former guests on. They're going to pop in. Maybe hang around the entire time. I don't know. It could be chaos for this.
It's
We'll
going
see.
to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. It was just
But
fun.
yeah, so and it's going to rock. So join us then. You know who we are. We know where we are.
This has almost been 3 hours, guys. If you're with us still at this point, thank you. If not, you see us tomorrow. The show will be on podcast. We'll post it and make it run.
If you're still with us,
Yeah.
I am still streaming live on my channel,
Yeah.
and I will probably be dragging Hurgle to go play HOTS.
Yeah,
because-
I'm expecting that.
If it is on vodcast, I might not be around because I'll be doing stuff for the next, the podcast next week. So
It's going live at 2 p.m. then.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to put it up when I go to work at 8 in the morning.
Okay. So yeah, so I have it running in the background. So occasionally I'll look in the chat. But yeah, so I've got stuff to do in preparation for the show next week. So if I'm not around in the chat, it's because it's a vodcast when it's live but not live. But enough of me waffling. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Regis, for joining us again.
Yes. Sorry, I was distracted by something. Yes, I am glad to be here. By all means, invite me again at any point, preferably with some warning, but if need be.
I don't do the bookings.
drag me into the
I
call.
leave that. I leave that to the other two.
Yeah. Usually it's Will, but
Sometimes you gotta
circumstances occurred, and I just said,
Yeah.
"Hey, get on."
But yeah, on that note, we shall catch you next week, if not earlier, on streams.
Indeed.
Have a good night.
Good
and we'll
night,
See you later.
people.
Night Watchers.
Come
Good
over to
night.
my place.
Oh wait, no, he's trying to be spooky. I'm trying to be sexy. This doesn't work. Our MOs don't click well.
No.
All right, I'll be right back first. I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah, you do it.
/host.
Punching spiders. Oh my God, I got a host. Thank you for the host, Turquipus. Don't mind me as I keep punching things to death.
Will, go to bed. You're exhausted.
I am going to. I'm just going to host.
Oh, God, that was nothing. There's nothing in that chest. Garbo.
Host.
Fucking spiders. Why does it have to be spiders? Okay, think. Papa. Are
So I'm going
they?
to try and hopefully have the rest of them done by Monday.
All
Yeah,
right.
up
And
to-
then I
up
can
to
start
episode 40.
putting things together.
Yeah, because then we can see about going through the last 9 episodes at some point that week if you want. Unless we go through these for us.
If he wants to go through some, he can. I don't mind you
No!
delegating. All right. I'm going to get
Right.
ready for bed because I got to work first thing in the morning.
Ah!
Yeah, I'm going to bugger off to bed because it is the morning.
Yep.
All right.
See you later.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful sleep. Oh, motherfucker.
In the world of superheroes, death is simple.